and athletics across the capstone. Domino's would like to thank our customers for supporting our local business for over 30 years. Make Domino's your choice on game days year-round. Domino's is proud to deliver your Alabama Crimson Tide game days anytime. Just visit RollDomino's.com. Thanks for your business and Roll Tide.
Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac is a local family-owned dealership in Tuscaloosa. Barkley has an award-winning service department, a state-of-the-art body shop, and a beautiful showroom waiting to welcome you. And BarkleyGMC.com opens our online showroom to you. So do what thousands of satisfied customers have already done. Get your new car, truck, or SUV from Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac, keeping Crimson Tide fans on the road for over 42 years.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I'm an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's time for today's STEM tip. Okay, you know recycling is important. No one wants plastic in the ocean. Here's a cool way to repurpose a plastic bottle. Build an awesome terrarium. Cut a large plastic bottle in half and fill the base with sand, pebbles, potting soil, and your favorite plant. I chose an African violet. Put the top of the bottle over your base and place it in the sun. Your plant will grow sealed in its own ecosystem. Fun, right? Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's a fun fact for you. The average chameleon can point their eyes in 2 different directions. On the other hand, the average human can't. So unless you're a chameleon, there's absolutely no way you can focus on texting and driving at the same time. So don't do it, unless you're a chameleon.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Just because the bump music. Merry Christmas, everybody, as we look at our keys to victory for tonight's matchup between the 9th-ranked Tide and Jackson State. Those keys to victory presented by Ford. You know, college sports are full of trash talk, and what speaks louder are stats like the Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years. No wonder Ford's a proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. You can learn more at buyfordnow.com. The top trash talker, Bryan Passink, has a look at our keys to victory.
Well, this Jackson State team has struggled. They're 1-10, but they have won on the road at SMU. Not easy to do. They've also played Mississippi State tough. Mississippi State right now in the top 15 in America. It was a 4-point game with about 4 minutes to play. Jackson State ends up losing by 10. So this is a team that is better than their record. That's what Nate Oates and you talked about in the pregame show. But this is a team that rebounds the ball pretty well on both ends of the floor. So Alabama has rebounded the ball exceptionally well. Still the #1 rebounding team in America. But this is a game that you can't relax in those areas. You got to defend at a high level. You got to rebound at a high level and take Jackson State out of the game early. This is a road-weary team. They have not had a home game in their first 11 games. We talked with Mo Williams before the game to play at that level in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. You got to make money in November and December and go to SEC schools and go around the country, and I think they're going to have a chance to be pretty good and hopefully compete for the SWAC championship once they get back home and get into their conference. But right now, it's been a long road, literally, for the Jackson State Tigers, and hopefully Alabama will come out and play focused and do a good job on both ends of the floor and early on, we'll see where the mindset is of this team.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game, presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Walk-On's puts everything they've got into bringing you game day, and they do it with a taste of Louisiana. Visit locations in Mobile, Montgomery, Hoover, or Tuscaloosa for your next game day experience. Walk-On Sports Bistro, more than a restaurant. Actually, we're going to give you those starters as they're introduced to the crowd here at Coleman Coliseum. Tony Giles will have that on the other side of this break. And also coming up next will be the tip-off of Alabama basketball. It's the Tide and the Tigers of Jackson State here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Crimson Tide Basketball is brought to you by Texaco. Proven unbeatable mileage. Texaco with Techron. Driving performance. BASF. We create chemistry. Auto Owners Insurance. Visit RollTide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent. And by Bud Light. It's for the fans. This has been the Ford Pregame Show. For great offers on F-150, visit your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Here we go. Tip-off is coming up on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Walk-On Sports Bistro puts everything they've got into bringing you game day with a taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana dishes or fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs with over 40 beers on tap. Watching at home, Walk-On's is available to go. Order online or through the Walk-On's mobile app. Visit Walk-On's in Tuscaloosa, Hoover, Montgomery, and Mobile. Walk-On Sports Bistro, more than a restaurant.
Tide fans, flu season is just around the corner, and the Alabama Department of Public Health wants to remind Tide fans that this year it's more important than ever to get your flu shot. Research shows that it's possible to have the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. This flu season, protect yourself and the people around you from flu and help reduce the strain on your local healthcare system who is still responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/flu.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
On your next trip to Tuscaloosa, check out the Residence Inn Tuscaloosa. Located along the banks of the Black Warrior River, our all-suite hotel is just a short drive from the University of Alabama in downtown Tuscaloosa. Our accommodations are ideal for any traveler, whether you're staying overnight or for an extended stay. Our hotel is devoted to giving Tide fans an amazing experience from start to finish, including a free football game day shuttle for guests. At Residence Inn Tuscaloosa, it's not just a room, it's a residence, and we're proud to be a preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Are you sick of pretending to like boring hard seltzers that leave you feeling bloated? Tired of drinking the same old light beer? No time to make a mixed drink with all those complicated ingredients? Then it's time for you to try something different. Beatbox is now an official sponsor of Alabama and the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Packing an 11.1 APV punch, each Beatbox is bursting with delicious flavors. Beatbox is gluten-free, low sugar, and resealable, so you can always take the party on the go. There ain't no party like a Beatbox party. Roll Tide. Please drink responsibly, must be 21.
On the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Roll Tide. It's time to turn up for tip-off.
Rebound, Cloudy. Yes, with the left hand. Alabama leads by 2 on the drive. Goes to the rack and throws it home. Oh, mercy. Alabama has beaten the #1 ranked team in America.
Crimson Tide basketball is brought to you by Conecuh Sausage, the official smoked sausage of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Barkley GMC, Tuscaloosa's leader. Barkley makes it easy. Chick-fil-A. Download the Chick-fil-A app and place your order now at an Alabama Chick-fil-A location. And by Texaco. Proven unbeatable mileage. Texaco with Techron. Driving performance. Now live on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Turn it up. It's game time.
Another beautiful rendition of our national anthem being performed here at Coleman Coliseum. I apologize, I believe I caught the young lady's name, Kimberly Williams, that performed that. But we know the next voice you'll hear. It's the public address announcer at Coleman Coliseum. Here's Tony Giles with a look at the starters for Alabama and Jackson State.
Mississippi in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, the Tigers of Jackson State University. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi, number 2, Ken Evans Jr. At guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Starkville, Mississippi, number 4, Colty Young. At guard, a 5'11" freshman from Jackson, Mississippi, number 5, Kavion Hunt. At forward, a 6'8" senior from Owensboro, Kentucky, number 3, Trace Young. And at forward, a 6'5" senior from Sardis, Mississippi, number 31, Jamarcus Jones. Jackson State's assistant coaches are Tyler Adams and Keith Williams. The associate head coach is Trey Johnson, and the Tigers head coach is Mo Williams.
As they have dropped the lights here at Coleman Coliseum and get set to introduce the home team to the home crowd. We pause 10 seconds so our local stations can identify themselves to you. Welcome to the Crimson Tide Sports Network. This close to Christmas with no students in the house and an opponent that does not have the marquee value that some of the others we have seen here. Not a terrible crowd at all on a cold, nasty night in T-Town to see the 9th-ranked Crimson Tide of Alabama take on the Tigers of Jackson State.
Now,
once again, here's Tony.
And deliver a rolling tide for Alabama's starting 5. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, number 1, Mark Sears. At guard, a 6'3" freshman from Rochester, New York, number 0, Jaden Brantley. At forward, a 6'8" graduate from Fayetteville, Georgia, number 4, Noah Gurley. At forward, a 6'9" freshman from Antioch, Tennessee, number 24, Brandon Miller. And at center, a 7-foot sophomore from Brampton, Ontario, number 14, Charles Bediako. The assistant coaches are Charlie Henry, Ryan Hodgson, and Antoine Petway. And Alabama's head coach is Nate Oates. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Alabama basketball.
It is Alabama basketball indeed as the Tide gets set to take on the Tigers of Jackson State University. And again, it's kind of rare that we're a little sentimental towards the opposing head coach, but anybody that follows Bama basketball or has over the years would certainly understand why that's the case.
Well, Alabama has a great basketball history, and Mo Williams is up at the top of the list, one of the best players in the history of the program, former McDonald's All-American, SEC Player of the Year in 2002, a year that Alabama won the SEC regular season championship, and Mo went on to have a great NBA career where he was an all-star. He won an NBA championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and now he's back home in a couple of ways. He's back home in Tuscaloosa, where he got his basketball career started on a national level at the University of Alabama, but he's from Jackson. And he was at Alabama State, did a great job for a couple of years in Montgomery, got the job at Jackson State, his hometown, and he is doing a terrific job in building this program. And listen, it hasn't shown on the court yet in terms of wins and losses, and we hope it shows in their next game. Want Mo Williams to have an incredible season, incredible career, but for the next couple of hours, we will not be Mo Williams fans in terms of winning the game, but he was a great player, he's a great person, and he is a great representative of the University of Alabama.
He is indeed, but again, we hope he gets whooped tonight. Love him, but pulling for the team he'll be going against is our team, the Alabama Crimson Tide, with Noah Gurley getting the start over Noah Clowney, who is out due to illness, and hopefully will be back very, very soon. Bharat Ramnanan, the official, throws the ball in the air, and the tap is controlled by the Crimson Tide, and that is the only time I will attempt to say that gentleman's name tonight, even though I did indeed get it right. Here's Sears throwing it to Bradley on the left wing. He'll drive inside the lane, then takes it to the right side of the lane, goes back into the paint, puts it up off the glass, missed it, and the rebound is controlled by Young for Jackson State. Here come the Tigers the other way. They're in the road navy with the red trim. Bama, of course, the home white uniforms with the crimson lettering. They'll throw it to the elbow. Young spinning, shooting, missing from 15. Rebound fought for. Bodies on the deck, picked up by Jackson State, and a nice reverse layup in for two by Ken Evans Jr., who's averaging 11 points per game. 2-0. Tigers on top. Here's Bama back the other way quickly with Bradley. Gets it inside. Gurley for the flush.
Looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. Not even sure Jaden Bradley was going to Noah Gurley, but he was able to corral the ball, one dribble, and throw it down. Easy deuce for Alabama.
Tigers front court. Kevian Hunt, driving into the lane, puts up the floater and got it to go. He got a step on Sears and was able to get the tough shots dropped. 4-2 Jackson State with the early advantage. Here's Bama the other way again with Bradley. Getting into the paint, then throwing it outside. Gurley, right wing, three ball, too strong. Rebound tipped, out of bounds, touched last by the Crimson Tide. Brandon Miller trying to keep it alive for Alabama, but knocked it out of bounds, and the possession will go to Jackson State.
Great opportunity for Noah Gurley, who's been up and down in the early part of the season, averaging 6 points, 4 rebounds, but with Noah Clowney out because of illness, Gurley will get more playing time, more opportunity, and he is a player that is capable of more than 6 points and 4 rebounds, so would like to get him going in the right direction before SEC play starts.
Here come the Tigers. They'll throw it into the low post. The catch there by Jamarcus Jones, facing the basket against Bediako. Missed the 10-footer, and the rebound is controlled by Miller. Brandon bringing it ahead with the tie down 4-2. Nice left-handed look, but it was a little bit too strong. He claimed he got hit on the arm, but no whistle, and a turnover by the Crimson Tide.
It was a good look. Jaden Bradley was wide open. Would have been an easy layup. A little bit of a deflection. The three officials on the floor didn't see it, and it'll go back over to the Tigers.
The aforementioned referees, Todd Austin, Jeffrey Anderson, and Mr. Ramnanan, who, again, I got it twice, I think. They'll throw it onto the right side to Courtside Young. He will work it back out high to Trace Young. Now a left side three is up and good from Kevian Hunt, and a 7-2 start for Jackson State as Bama comes the other way on the right wing. Gurley, now Bradley. His jumper no good from 18 feet. Rebound fought for, knocked out of bounds, touched last by the Crimson Tide. Scary game today based on what's happened around the SEC, with a couple of losses for SEC squads and another one that was hanging in the balance just prior to the tip-off of our game. Bradley gets it in, and the ball is dropped by Gurley. Noah took his eye off of it, and the turnover will give it back to Jackson State. A deflection by Brandon Miller and a takeaway by Brandon. He'll bring it the other direction. Going down the lane, he will drop it off. Gurley will slam it home.
I thought he was passing it to Charles Bediako, but Noah Gurley cutting to the basket. Brandon Miller saw him, dropped it off to him. Easy dunk for Alabama.
Rylan Griffin at the scores table. He'll check in on the next dead ball. Jackson State with it, up 7-4. 16:57 to go here in the opening half. Tigers work it to the elbow far side with Evans. He'll throw it into the low post. Tigers will lose it out of bounds. Touch last by Jackson State. We'll see Gurley exit and Griffin come in to replace him. The Dallas freshman averaging 6 points and almost 3 boards a game for the Crimson Tide.
Because of the size of Jackson State, Nate Oates will have options and playing differently. You can go big right now, going small with Rylan Griffin, essentially playing 4 guards.
Bradley working off a double screen, goes right side, gets into the lane, whips a pass all the way out to Griffin on the left corner. He'll go baseline. He'll try to feed it to Bediako, but it was a bit behind him and a turnover by the Tide. Jackson State hurries into the front court. They work it onto the wing to Young. He'll give it up top of the circle to Evans. He'll drive, got bumps a little bit, no whistle, and Bediako caught the errant shot, and here comes the Tide the other way. The 7-foot point guard, Bediako, bringing it up the floor. Now gives it off to Sears. He'll drive, he'll get to the rim. Left-hand layup, no. Bediako the rebound. Outside Bradley, left wing 3, short. Rebound controlled by Jackson State.
Good offense by Alabama, got the ball inside. Second chance opportunity, kick out to the wide open shooter, but can't get it to go down.
Deep 3, dead on, missed by Trace Young. Rebounded by Miller, ahead now to Bradley. Kicks into the corner, Sears, 3, in and out, no good. Tipped by Griffin, no, and the rebound controlled by Jackson State. It's Chase Adams, a nice pass ahead. Bama didn't get back defensively, and a timeout will be called by Nate Oates. Not a happy man with 15:45 to go in the first half. Immediate timeout, 9-4. Jackson State leading Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Your local Fast Signs experts can handle all your business visibility needs, from signs to graphics to everything in between. Request a free quote today by calling 205-758-7446 or email us at 2032@fastsigns.com. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa, a proud supporter of Crimson Tide Athletics.
We are DCH. We were built to protect and persevere, to help and to heal, to provide care that's as strong as this community. With steadfast dedication and hearts of gold, no matter what life throws at us, we've got you covered, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you back to what matters most, your life. DCH, champions for your health.
Bama's down 5. 9-4, 15:45 to play in the first half. You can keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now, free at the App Store and Google Play. Tom Stipe, Chris Stewart, Bryan Passink. Merry Christmas, everybody. BP, you called this a mindset game. Well, Ole Miss's mindset wasn't very good. A&M's wasn't. Now Mississippi State has gone down. What are you thinking of Bama in the first timeout?
Well, this is always a tricky game for anyone in college basketball, especially the heavy favorites going into Christmas break. You've got your entire team thinking about going home for the first time in several months, and every coach knows it. Every coach tries to guard against it, but right now it looks like Alabama has not been the focused team. Only a couple minutes gone by, so you can get refocused. One of the reasons why you got a timeout. Actually, this is Jackson State's timeout, but Nate Oates, I'm sure, doesn't mind that it was called. Right. I think he was going to get it if Mo Williams didn't, but tough start for Alabama. 3 turnovers, not able to connect from 3. And listen, if you miss open shots, that's one thing. It's the turnovers that are the problem. Open shots are eventually going to go down. Alabama, when they've taken care of the ball, we saw this in the Gonzaga game. We've seen this pretty much throughout the season. Bama's efficient offensively when they take care of the ball. They get great shots. They've got skilled shooters who can knock them down. But right now, it's been too many turnovers and some easy buckets for the Tigers.
Out of the timeout, Brandon Miller, Javon Quinterly, Nick Pringle, Darius Miles, and Rylan Griffin are your 5 on the floor for Alabama. Crimson Tide basketball. JQ wanting a screen from Pringle out or back in the backcourt. He gets it, and now we'll bring it ahead for Alabama. Quinterly working away from a double team, throws it away, but Pringle fights to get it back for Alabama to Miller. Spot up 3, bottom. Not exactly the way it was drawn up, but we'll take it.
But those scramble opportunities you're able to get open from the three-point line. The loose ball from Nick Pringle, able to find Brandon Miller in rhythm. They can't get out to him, and he knocks it down.
First bank, first three of the night for Bama is followed by a bank off the glass by Chase Adams. Jackson State answers. They lead by 4, 11-7, with 15 minutes to play in the first half. Left-handed pass, Miller, good catch, Pringle. Nice pass in the corner, Griffin, 3 bottom.
Nick Pringle with a couple of assists. That one, not a great pass, but was able to get it to Rylan Griffin. The defense came out. It was not in rhythm, but Griffin able to knock it down from the corner.
Tigers work the ball to the elbow right side. Young spinning, shooting, missing with the left hand. Pringle grabbing a rebound. He's had the most of his minute on the floor so far. Here's JQ the other way. JQ to Pringle inside. Big fella got mugged by Trace Young. That was a good foul by Young. He made sure he didn't get the layup or the dunk, which I think Pringle was heading towards if he hadn't fouled him as sharply as he did.
Saw Nate Oates go to his bench after the run-out layup for Jackson State. Nate Oates will tolerate missed shots, even quick shots. But if you don't get back on defense, you're coming out. And he goes to his bench. This is a deep Alabama team. Nick Pringle goes in the game as a result, and he's made a difference. A couple of nice passes, rebound, a stop. This time goes to the line for 2.
Unfortunately missed the first free throw, and I'm going to check real quick. Yep, I didn't think he had many. Only 2 free throw attempts. He's now 1 of 3 on the season. For Nick, 6'9", 220, the junior college transfer from Dodge City in Kansas. He's a native of Seabrook, South Carolina. Good roll there, but it wouldn't stay down from the free throw line. And after a pair of misses, Jackson State still leads at 11-10. Tigers bring it front court to our right. Chase Adams working it onto the left side to Ken Evans Jr. He'll work into the lane through a lob that was batted away and stolen by guess who? Nick Pringle. Doing a nice job off the bench for Bama. Gets it to Miller. Brandon, the hesitation move, the spin into a double team. Finds Griffin on the right wing. Drives baseline. Tried to feed it to Pringle, but it was knocked out of bounds. Such last by Romel Mansell, who got the deflection, and possession will stay with the Crimson Tide.
Nick Pringle, the reserve big man, continues to make plays. Gets the job done defensively. That starts the Alabama fast break.
JQ to inbound it from the baseline. Throws it out high to Darius Miles, the junior from Washington, D.C. Brings it left to the circle. Off the bounce, goes to his right. Goes down the lane. Tough shot. Right hand wouldn't go, but he gets fouled by Mansell, and that will be 2 shots upcoming for Darius Miles. Another chance for Bama to take its first lead.
That's why it's so important to have shooters on the floor. Even if guys aren't making it, you got to stay close to Rylan Griffin, Javon Quinterly, Brandon Miller on the perimeter. And Darius Miles had a wide open driving lane as a result. Took the contact, and Alabama gets back to the line for 2.
The lefty Darius Miles knocking down the first. Limited action, only averaging about 6.5 minutes per game, 12.5 for his Alabama career, 1.5 points and rebounds. Those numbers will go up, though, Bryan, as his minutes go up.
Yeah, dealing with injury. He's back, and he is needed with Dom Welch still not able to play. Hopefully he'll be back very soon. Amari Burnett out for another 5 or 6 weeks. It's important for Darius Miles to play well, a guy that can get it done on both ends of the floor.
Got it done at the free throw line, hit both in what is only his 6th game of the year for the Crimson Tide, and Alabama has a 12-11 lead. Tigers, though, trying to answer. Had a block by Miller up high. Brandon, a beautiful block as he'll bring it himself the other way to Miles. The drive, lost his balance, hit the deck, scramble on the floor for a loose ball and a tie-up, and the arrow will favor Jackson State.
I like the aggressiveness of Darius Miles, but it was well defended. Tried to go left. That's his strong hand. Probably should have come back to the right. Good defensive play by Jackson State, able to tie Alabama up, and ball goes back to the Tigers.
So Jackson State with the basketball. They'll inbound it with Zeke Cook. They need to go the length of the floor. 13:34 remaining in the opening half. 12-11 Bama, the 9th-ranked team in America, a 1-point lead over the Tigers of Jackson State. Evans reversing back near side to Adams on the right wing. Adams throws it top of the arc to Mansell. He will drive right side of the lane, then feeds it left side to Cook. His 10-footer is no good. Rebounded by Miles, and Bama comes the other way. Quinterly back to Miles, who gets it on the right wing. Darius will back it out. Now will try to drive. Cut off. Keeps the dribble going on the right wing. Now gets inside the arc and got fouled on his way towards the bucket.
They are giving Darius Miles a three-point shot, but early in the shot clock decided to check a few other options. The hesitation move got him free, and another foul by the Tigers.
Miller checks out, replaced by Noah Gurley for the Crimson Tide. As JQ will inbound it, nice feed to Miles. Gives it back out high to Griffin. Ryland will drive it down the lane. Tough runner with the right hand, no good. Deflected by Pringle, but controlled by Jackson State. They'll work it onto the right wing quickly. Keontae Cornelius has a three, rattle out, no good. And Noah Clowney's getting that is Nick Pringle getting every rebound for Alabama. On the right wing, Gurley, all alone, three ball, too strong, caught underneath by Griffin. His layup would drop, rebounded the miss, and then he's going to be called for a walk. On his back, he changed pivot cheeks, and so he's called for the travel. That'll give it back to Jackson State, with Bama still leading at 12-11 with 12:33 to go. Nick Pringle's been tremendous here in these early minutes on the glass.
Yeah, what a defensive rebound that started the Alabama fast break. Noah Gurley was wide open from three, strong on it. Ryland Griffin at point-blank range thought he was going to get the putback lay-in. He was short with it, and Alabama not able to convert.
Ball gets dumped onto the right side. Jackson State will go with a runner in the lane, a little bit short from Chase Adams, and Bama comes the other way, looking to add to a one-point lead. JQ, a little shake and bake move, trying to work against Adams. Double team, nice bounce pass. The shot from Pringle is blocked, but he is fouled and will go to the line to shoot a pair.
Hey, Nick Pringle has come to play so active on both ends of the floor. High pick and roll, Javon Quinterly with a nice bounce pass, and the aggressiveness of Nick Pringle got him the foul right there. There wasn't much there, but because he was attacking the rim, he'll go to the line for two.
Apologize to Nick. I don't know what the block is in my mind, but I know it's Nick Pringle, but it comes out Noah Clowney half the time.
A lot of Noahs.
Noahs and Nicks. A lot of big fellas and a lot of good ones, and maybe that's the problem. Unfortunately, Pringle couldn't get the free throw to drop. He's 0 for 3 here in the early going from the stripe.
There were years where you had one or two spectacular athletes.
Yeah.
There's so many now, it's hard to keep up.
It's a good problem.
It is a good problem. One reason why Alabama's top 10 in the country.
Even after a loss. Isn't that great? Not that they lost, but that's where they were. And another free throw missed by Pringle, and that one wasn't close. It was uglier than a train wreck going up there, but the miss claimed by Jackson State. The Tigers will come the other way with Hunt working near the midcourt stripe, directing traffic as he works against JQ, trying to create a little separation. 10 on the shot clock as Hunt will drive, puts up a floater, challenged by Pringle. The shot missed, the ball knocked out of bounds, and it's touched last by Jackson State. 11:43 to go when we come back to Tuscaloosa. Timeout on the floor with a 12-11 score. Good guys on top here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bob Baumhauer here. Are you out of ideas for those stocking stuffers? Our selection of delicious signature sauces make great stocking stuffers for that chef of the house. Kick up your favorite holiday dish with our legendary hot sauce. If you enjoy our char-grilled black and white chicken, then grab a bottle of our fabulous legendary white barbecue sauce. Would you like to have a Bam Bam shrimp on your holiday menu? That's easy. Just pick up a bottle of Baumhauer's Thai sweet chili sauce. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Producing championship quality lumber is not an easy process, but at Everwood Treatment Company, it's our only process. Wood treated right. Everwood is championship quality lumber for decks, outdoor structures, commercial jobs, and more that you can build your reputation on. No rot, no decay, no termites, no problems. Just wood treated right. To locate your local Everwood store, visit everwoodtreatment.com. Everwood Treatment, official lumber of the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Back at Coleman Coliseum, Bama's up 1, 12-11 over Jackson State. 11:43 to go in the first half. On your next trip to T-Town, stay at the Residence Inn, located on the banks of the Black Warrior River. An all-suite hotel is just a short drive to campus in downtown and ideal for any traveler, whether staying overnight or an extended stay. Residence Inn. It's not just a room, it's a residence. Proud to be the preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide. Tom Stipe, Chris Stewart, Bryan, Passink, BP. The depth on this team is just utterly ridiculous, and if number 23 keeps playing like this, Chris Stewart's going to remember his name next time.
That's right. Yeah, Nick Pringle, by the way. And what a start he's had coming off the bench for Alabama. 2 points, 2 assists. He's been to the free throw line 4 times. We won't talk about the results of those 4, but to get there, he had to do some good things. And he's playing hard, he's active, and he's made a difference. Nate Oates went to his bench, didn't like a few guys getting back in transition defense, and the bench has responded. And thankfully, this Alabama team is deep because you've got 3 guys out. Of course, Namari Burnett out with a broken wrist. He'll be out 6 weeks or so. You've got Dom Welch, who should be back in Alabama's next game, hopefully, in the SEC opener against Mississippi State. And Noah Clowney, who was the 2-time back-to-back SEC Freshman of the Week. He's out with illness. Hopefully he'll be back very soon, but you've got 3 key contributors, or that have been or will be key contributors on the season, out for this game, and other guys are given an opportunity to step up, and so far Nick Pringle has.
Jaden Bradley back in the game for the Crimson Tide, along with Brandon Miller, as Tide will work it to Gurley on the left wing, drives into the lane, spinning left and right, then giving it out to Bradley beyond the arc. Step back 3, a little short. Rebound tipped high into the air, and the rebound controlled by the Tigers. Kevion Young, or Hunt, that'll bring it front court. A deflection on the pass, but it winds up in the hands of Young. They'll look to the elbow with Cook. He'll throw it into the low post. Bediako with the block on the shot attempt by Jones, but Jackson State controls. They'll work it in the paint again. Tough shot, missed. Rebound fought for and picked up by Bradley, and then a reach-in foul is going to be called on Jamarcus Jones of Jackson State.
Great defense by Charles Bediako. He was on the bench for a little while watching Nick Pringle get it done on the defensive end. This time it was Charles with a block shot, and then he changed the shot. Alabama not able to get out in transition, but the Tigers get called for the foul.
Bama with a basketball and a 12-11 lead with 10:52 remaining here in the opening half. Bradley drives right, and a moving screen is going to be called. He tried that dribble handoff that you see quite often now in the college game, but what you also see is what just happened. It's a moving screen that's called, incorrectly so, by Jeffrey Anderson as he tried to hand it off to Mark Sears.
Another Alabama turnover. Not a thing of beauty offensively for either team. Alabama with its 3rd turnover in the last 3 minutes. Bama on a 3-minute scoring drought, but fortunately holding Jackson State to 2 for its last 12.
Tigers with a basketball. Young working it to the left side, and Hunt gets into the lane, lost the handle, picked up by Alabama. It's Gurley flipping it literally to Sears in transition. He'll work it right side. Miller 3-ball, no good. Long rebound, Brandon got it himself. No look pass inside to Gurley, spinning, shooting, missing, and the rebound again controlled by the Tigers. Here's Jones working it ahead to Hunt.
Didn't need to fade away, had a smaller man on him. He faded with the jump hook, could have gone right up and scored.
Bediako called for the reach, came over the back of Jones trying to deflect that pass. The block was clean, but he got him with a little bit of body, and that's why Todd Austin made the call right there. That team foul, the 2nd on Alabama. 5 had been whistled on Jackson State. Tigers inbound it quickly into the low post. They'll spin, they'll go an up and under move, and a tough shot is missed by Jones. Ball's knocked out of bounds, though, by the Tide, and possession will stay with the Tigers.
Again, Charles Bediako, Brandon Miller doing a good job defensively. Alabama, with the exception of the last 2 games, have been so hard to score on at the rim.
Young misses the jumper from the right side. Bama claims another miss, and somebody take the lid off the basket on this end to our left. Miller thought about a 3. Instead, he'll drive. Goes to the rack. Shot will not go, and he's going to be called for an offensive foul in the process.
Well, he's a good candidate to take the lid off the basket. What a game he had Saturday. 36 points against Gonzaga, and everybody in the gym knew where Alabama wanted to go on the offensive end. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Alabama couldn't get stops defensively, but Brandon Miller was spectacular in that game. A big reason why he's now the SEC Freshman of the Week for his 2nd time.
12-11, Alabama with the lead, but we have been stuck on that number since the under-12 media timeout. Working from the right side, and now driving is Young. Short on the left-handed attempt. Rebound Bediako, the outlet to Quinterly, and JQ will bring it ahead. Shake and bake move, gets into the lane. High lob, Bediako the flush.
Alabama's had success with a high pick and roll. There have been a couple of times where Nick Pringle's gone to the free throw line. This time, Jackson State doesn't have an opportunity to foul Charles Bediako. Beautiful pass and finish.
Evans with the basketball, goes to the top of the arc, and Young. Trace Young, that is, dribbling to his right, giving it off to Ken Evans Jr. Evans throwing it into the low post. The spinning move from the jump to the right hand, too strong off the glass, but a foul's going to be whistled on the Crimson Tide. That will be on, let's see, Bediako. That'll be 2 on Charles, and that will get Nick Pringle up off the bench. Sets check back in for the Crimson Tide.
Pretty good defense by Charles, but did get him on the forearm. He's been so good about staying vertical this time. Couldn't help himself, tried to block the shot, and the result, Jackson State at the free throw line.
Jamarcus Jones' first attempt, up and good. Jones 16 of 25 now from the free throw line for 63%. As a squad, Jackson State shooting 64%. Alabama at 71 on the year. Free throw Jones, no good off the back iron, and Pringle clears the miss for Alabama. Nick giving it up to JQ, who will bring the ball into the front court, being defended by Adams. He dribbles right, he goes by, he whips a pass all the way left side. Gurley, 3 ball, short. Rebound tipped into the air, back into the hands of Gurley. He'll drive, he'll stop, he'll shoot, he'll have it blocked, and it's run down by the man who blocked it, Trace Young. He'll work it ahead to Adams. Beautiful move in transition. His jumper off the glass is good. That was a highlight reel play there from the Tigers to tie it at 14.
Chase Adams at 5'8", showing you his quickness. What a move.
Bama with it. JQ on the drive. Dumps it over. Pringle, he got fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. That's a heck of a catch on the part of Nick Pringle, because that was a bullet pass coming from Alabama's Javon Quinterly.
And Nick Pringle continues to play at a high level. JQ gets inside the defense. They come to him. Thought he was going to shoot that floater in the lane, but at the last minute finds Nick Pringle going to the basket, and Nick goes back to the line where he struggled in this game.
He's missed a couple, and then a couple more, but that one's perfect. Hey, by the way, if you're looking over at the you're looking over at the Jackson State bench, and you see the former Alabama player, Mo Williams, coaching the Tigers, he's got a big old necklace around his neck. But let me tell you a little bit about it. It's an Alabama jersey with the number 25 on it. That's his. That's his number. And it's a good-looking piece of jewelry that he's wearing with pride as he comes back into this building. Free throw's good, and Alabama's got a 16-14 lead. Pringle making his first 2 of the ball game. Jackson State front court working on the left wing to Young. Around the horn, they'll work it now to Evans' right side. Evans trying to get free from Pringle. Can't. Dumps it off right baseline. Zeke Cook, his jumper's missed. Miller up high to snatch it out of the air. Brandon starts the break himself. Gets it front court. Working off a screen. Puts up a 3. They're going to wipe it off. They're going to call a foul, I believe, on the Tide. Let's see.
Boy, that is tough, because he was going into a shooting motion right as the foul occurred. High pick and roll situation. He and Nick Pringle, they're going to go look at it. Not even sure. Who did they call the foul on? It could have gone either way.
I'm with you, partner. I'm not sure either. We need to take a break. We'll come back, sort it all out. 7:50 to go in the opening half. At the moment, it's 16-14 Bama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear, because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground, because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously, and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Tonight's radio affiliate of the game is Big Cat 97.1 WLTX in Fayette. Go to the Crimson Tide Sports Network's Facebook page, follow us, and tell us where you're listening for a chance to win 2 free combo meals from Jack's. Thank you for tuning in to the Crimson Tide Sports Network for Alabama basketball. Bryan Passink, the bad news is, or the good news is, the foul on number 2 was on their number 2, Ken Evans. The bad news, it wipes off a Brandon Miller 3. Which would have made the score 19-14. Bama's up 2, 16-14.
Alabama's struggling on the offensive end, but fortunately getting done on the defensive end, and that's been a big point of emphasis in film study and in a light couple of practices the last few days is getting better on the defensive end. Gonzaga shot 74% in the second half against Alabama. They had a lot to do with that. They played great. That's a terrific offensive basketball team, but Alabama did not play to their standard on the defensive end. Nate Oates wasn't able to really push his team too hard the last couple of days because he had several, 5-6 guys out with illness. Noah Clowney not here tonight due to illness, but this Alabama basketball team has been less than 100% for the last 3 or 4 days. Not used as an excuse against Gonzaga on Saturday, but that was a team that was not at full speed on Saturday. They're not at full speed here today. Got to overcome those things over the course of the season. Hopefully Alabama will be able to do that here tonight.
How about Nick Pringle? He was only 1 of 2 at the line coming into the game. He misses his first 4. He's made 3 straight and make it 4 in a row. All we need to do is get him some reps there, and that says a lot that he's gotten to the line and has been able to convert on 4 straight to give Bama the 18-14 lead with 7:42 and moving time left in the opening half. Tigers working into the front court. Adams giving it out to Trace Young. His deep 3 is short. Rebound claimed by Sears. Nice move to get it ahead into the front court. He goes down the lane, dumps it off, and the flush for 2 by Pringle.
What a play. Mark Sears gets it in the lane, and Nick Pringle kept rising, gets up high, throws it down, and he has played extremely well off the bench for Alabama.
Most impressive part may have been the catch that he made in traffic. Evans, a fall-away jumper right side with a hand in his face is good, and then Bama throws it away. Pringle threw it away and then committed the foul. Well, that's tough, as his pass was intended, I think, for Griffin, but he underthrew it. It was right to Ken Evans, and he went in and got fouled by Pringle.
The ups and downs of being a first-year player in the SEC. Nick Pringle has had more ups and downs in this game. A mistake right there, but boy, he has played well. And you mentioned his hands. He's had 3 or 4 outstanding catches. That was a great look by Mark Sears, but not an easy catch to catch and go up. He was able to not just go up, but throw it down. One of the most athletic players to come into this Alabama basketball program in a few years, and that's saying a lot when you look at the athleticism top to bottom on this Alabama team, but nobody does it better from an athletic standpoint than Nick Pringle.
Evans hits both free throws to cut the Bama lead to 2. It's 20-18 with 7 minutes remaining in the opening half here at Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa. Glad to have you with us for the final game before Christmas. Deep 3, JQ bottom. Good bank first 3 gives Bama its biggest lead at 5.
Good to see JQ knock down the 3. He shot it really well in practice, had a great couple of days of practice, but he has struggled in the last few games.
Tigers miss a 15-footer left wing. Bama clears the miss. Miller, a nice pass ahead. Rylan Griffin on the right baseline. Back out JQ all alone. Shoots it again. Misses this time. Rebound claimed by Jackson State. And the Tigers will bring it ahead with Evans.
Alabama starting to get some good looks in transition and in the half court. Those will eventually go down.
JQ may have had too much time to think about that one. Tigers the other way. Left-handed jumper, no good off the back iron by Trace Young. Rebound tip by Griffin. Couldn't control it, though. It goes out of bounds, touched last by the Crimson Tide. 20 to shoot, 6:13 to play in the first half. Alabama 23, Jackson State out of Mississippi 18. The Tide beat Jacksonville State earlier in the year, the team from Alabama. Quick inbounds pass and off the glass. Jumper missed by Young. Rebound controlled by Miller. Brandon flips it ahead, giving it to Griffin. Driving, tried to dish it right side, but threw it out of bounds. He wanted to connect with JQ, but He had his momentum going to the basket, tried to throw it back across his body and just couldn't get enough on it.
Yeah, it was the right idea, well defended. Jackson State able to get back in transition defense, forcing a more difficult pass than it looked to be initially. JQ was wide open, but unfortunately, Bama turns it over again.
Jackson State with the basketball. They work left of the circle. The three off the bounce, missed by Adams. Another rebound claimed by Pringle, and Bama works it ahead to Sears. Now to Miller. Deep three, right side, no good off the back iron. And the rebound controlled by Jackson State again. Here's Evans front court, crossing over, going to his right. Stopping, and an offensive foul is going to be called. The quick definitive call from Jeffrey Anderson on that one, and the offensive foul gives possession back to Alabama.
Brandon Miller only has 3 points in this game, coming off the 36-point performance against Gonzaga. 1 for 3 from the three-point line, but his stroke is so smooth that every time he misses, you're shocked.
Yeah.
They all look like they're going in, and boy, one of the best players in college basketball. He has been better than advertised coming in. Was a McDonald's All-American, but he has been one of the best players that we've seen as a freshman in Alabama in a long time, which is saying a lot, as good as Nate Oates is recruited.
Bradley's not bad either. The former five-star scores a leaner in the paint to put the Bama lead at 7. 25-18, Crimson Tide on top. Adams goes to the far side to Courtside Young. Now to Evans Jr. near side. His three off the bounce is good. And Kid Evans Jr. makes it a 25-21 ball game. Sears the other way for the Tide. Whips a pass over to Griffin. Left side three, in and out, no good. Boy, that one was halfway down before it popped out of the hopper. And here comes Evans the other way for Jackson State. Evans going downhill, left side, tough runner, no good. Rebound taken away by Pringle to Sears and out to Bradley. Throws the lob, middle of the flush.
Great play by Jaden Bradley. Throws it up high. Brandon Miller up high and throws it down. Ken Evans, after making that shot for Jackson State, was talking trash to Brandon Miller. Better be careful.
Wind up on a poster. Adams working his way into the paint. They try to dump it off, but the ball gets thrown out of bounds by the Tigers. The length, the athleticism around the rim, even with its biggest player on the bench, still a problem for opposing teams when you face Alabama.
Yeah, when you play the style that Nate Oates wants to play, it starts with defense. Alabama is able to get the stop out in transition. And a couple of freshmen, former high school All-Americans, Jaden Bradley throws it up high to Miller. This team is fun to watch when they're out in transition.
Miller with it, top of the arc, driving right, stepping back, going left, giving it off to Bradley now. 14 on the shot clock as Bradley will dribble to his right, goes down the lane. Tried to dump it off, did. Clowney, the flush again. And I'll keep calling him that, and I'll get it wrong every time. Nick Pringle, excuse me, with the flush.
A great play by Jaden Bradley once again. Able to get in the lane, the bounce pass, it wasn't on target, but we talked about Pringle's hands. He was able to corral it, go up, and throw it down.
Maybe if I see an exorcist, I can get that fixed. Here is Adams driving, stopping, looking inside to Mansell, spins, loses the handle, ball knocked into the hands of Jaden Bradley. Jaden will look, he'll go into the lane, tough runner, couldn't get it to drop, but he got held on the play. They'll whistle that one on Jackson State. That'll be on Keontae Cornelius, and it will bring us to another media timeout. 3:18 to go before the break. 29-21, Alabama leading the Tigers of Jackson State here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Red Diamond knows that prepping for the perfect holiday meal isn't always easy. From making sure there's an option for your cousin Steve from Chicago,
I require a plant-based diet,
to making sure your father-in-law's favorite is on the table.
Boiled Brussels sprouts? Gross!
The holidays can be hard. Thankfully, you've got fresh brewed Red Diamond iced tea. It's the perfect sip of pure perfection that always brings people together. Red Diamond. Perfect, not easy.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to start playing by your own rules and escape the routine so your fantasy becomes reality? Where every night is an adventure, where new flavors are ready to be tasted, where it feels like you're a winner. Take a chance. Reward yourself. Make your routine anything but routine. Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
Bama's got 29. Jackson State 21, 3:18 to go in the first half. Stay with us at the half for the Toyota halftime report with first half stats, scores from around the country, and a quick chat with Coach Nate Oates and Bryan Passink, presented by the Cook's Pest Control. Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Bryan Passink, what do you expect to hear from Coach Oates?
Well, I think he has to like what he's done defensively throughout most of this game. Right now, Jackson State shooting 27% from the field, but listen, Alabama's been out of sync offensively, too many turnovers, some missed open looks, and kind of looks like a typical last game before you leave for the holidays and before you go home for the Christmas break. Alabama has done some good things, but right now Jackson State has to be feeling good about it themselves. Mo Williams, the former Alabama great, has had a tough stretch to start the season. They're 1-10. They have won at SMU. They haven't played a home game yet. They have been on the road the entire time. It's difficult when, from Mo Williams' perspective.
Oh, yeah.
A guy that was a high school All-American, played in the SEC, SEC Freshman of the Year, goes on, has a great NBA career where he's living the dream as an NBA player, all-star, won a championship, and now on buses and staying up all night to get from place to place to play road games to try to raise money in the non-conference so you can support your program. Totally different than he's used to, but love to see a guy that is done so well as a player, now doing a great job as a coach. And Mo Williams is going to continue to be an excellent head coach. He's got a bright future in this business, and couldn't happen to a better guy, and former Alabama great that we've all admired and known for a long time. Mo Williams is doing great things in his first year, or will do great things here at Jackson State.
Jaden Bradley doing great things too in his rookie year with the Tide. Hits both free throws and immediately checks out, replaced by Javon Quinterly as Bama leads it by 10. Biggest advantage for Alabama in this opening half of play. Tigers work it onto the right wing with Adams. Adams will back it out as he's cut off by JQ. Now they work it onto the left wing to Cook. Cook backing his way down against Miller. Cut off, needs help. Throws it out high again to Cornelius. Cornelius the drive, cut off by Griffin. Goes to his left, gets into the lane. Tough shot, left hand, and got it to drop.
It's really good defense by Rylan Griffin. Better offense, but that is all you can do as a defender.
Miller with the ball between the circles for Alabama. Looks down low. Pass a little bit short. Pringle couldn't get it. And here comes Jackson State the other way. Reverse layup, a beauty from Mansell. And the Tigers get a bucket in transition to make it a 31-25 game. 2:25 remaining in the opening half of play here in Tuscaloosa. Miller picks up his dribble. Needs help. JQ gets open. He finds him. Quinterly trying to shake free from the defender, Adams. Gives it off to Pringle, who lost it, got it back. Nick with a dribble and a handoff to Griffin. Ryland, step back three, no good. And the rebound controlled by Jackson State. Mansell got away with a push on Miller on that play to get the rebound, as now Adams will have it, top of the arc. Hesitates, dumps it back out to Cornelius with Griffin closing on it. Mansell trying to shake free from Sears, gives it off. Mansell the dribble and a deep three with the left hand, in and out, no good from Courtside Young, and then a rebound fought for, touched last by Alabama. Brandon Miller didn't realize that Romel Mansell was right behind him, and so only grabbed the rebound with one hand. Mansell got a tip on it, and Brandon couldn't hang on to it. It goes off his leg, out of bounds. Timeout called by Mo and the Tigers with 1:41 remaining in the half.
That was a mistake by Brandon Miller. Always go for the ball with two hands. And listen, it is hard to find things to critique Brandon Miller about. He has been so good on both ends of the floor. Plays hard, plays smart, and is ridiculously talented. And we've seen that over the course of the non-conference portion of the schedule. But right now, Alabama not playing the way that they would like, especially on the offensive end. And listen, when you play the schedule that Alabama has played, the high-profile games, the atmospheres that they played in. Listen, this is a really good crowd with all things considered. Just, you know, right before Christmas, students aren't here, and you just finished the stretch of at #1 Houston, which was one of the loudest buildings that we've been in years. Memphis here at home, a packed house, great crowd. A sellout at the BJCC against highly ranked Gonzaga. Those were 3 big, high-profile games with electricity in the building. It's a little different here against Jackson State, understandably so, but Alabama's got to do a better job.
Miller deflects the shot on the inbounds play, but then JQ has it poked away from behind as he was moving in transition. Ball knocked out of bounds, touched last by the Tigers.
This is a game where, as a player, you have to create your own energy. You know, in those 3 and the majority of the games in the non-conference, you walk into these buildings, they're packed, there's an electricity. It gets you going as a player. Sometimes when you're a heavy favorite, and Alabama's a big favorite in this game, have a tendency to just kind of not play your typical game. And right now, Alabama is not playing to their typical standard.
Sears couldn't handle the inbounds pass. It was not a great one from JQ. And the Tide loses it out of bounds. Alabama a little sloppy here. Their 11th turnover in the first half. 31-25, Bama with a lead. Jackson State with the basketball. They work it into the right corner. The open 3 knocked down by Young. And it has been a 7-0 run in the last 90 seconds for Jackson State. That's cut this down to 3. Near turnover on a deflection, and JQ's having problems just hanging on to the ball. And Jackson State's going to get a run out, a layup, and a bucket that will result in a timeout for Nate Oates, who is not a happy man with 1:03 remaining in the first half, as Jackson State has held Alabama scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes, and a 9-0 run has turned what was a 10-point Bama lead down to a 1-point margin.
Yeah, the 12th Alabama turnover, that has been an issue. And those a little bit strange. It looked like JQ, one of the best ball handlers in the country, just couldn't get hold of the ball to make the pass. It wasn't great defense on that particular play, but another run-out layup for Jackson State after an Alabama mistake. Right now, Alabama's struggling on offense, and that's turning into easy points for the Tigers.
You'll have the unenviable task of talking with Coach Oates at the half, as he'll be coming off the floor, but I'd rather be talking to him there than talking to him in the locker room, because I got a feeling that's going to be a very one-sided conversation that he'll be having with his team.
Yeah, every year, same thing. I mean, not with Alabama, just around the country. It's a tricky game.
Yeah.
This is the game before you go home. These guys have not been home in months, and it is so hard as a player to focus in a game like this. That Alabama, the heavy favorite, Jackson State comes in at 1-10. They've had some close losses against some highly ranked teams. They've won at SMU, so much better than a 1-10 record, but still Alabama the much better team, and they are not playing like it here in the first half.
Jaden Bradley bringing it ahead for Alabama, works it into the lane, throws a lob, and the dunk from Nick Pringle gives Bama the 3-point lead again.
Nice set out of the timeout, well executed, and Nick Pringle continues to play at a high level.
Tigers front court with Adams, throws it onto the left wing. They'll dump it into the post now to Mansell. Mansell throwing it back out high again to Cornelius. He'll work to his right. Still with the dribble alive, working against Miller. Stops at the free throw line, pivots, dumps it into the post to Cook. Cook, tough shot, got it to go. Miles didn't want to foul, actually got a hand on the ball initially, but still Cook was able to get it to go, and the Bama leads down to 1. Final 15 seconds of the half. Bradley working off of a screen, picks up the dribble, needs help, throws it into the low post, gets a return feed from Pringle. 6, 5, 4, and that's going to be a traveling violation. Nope, a carry whistled on Jaden Bradley. And Jackson State will get a chance to get the final shot and perhaps take the lead going into the locker room. It's only a 1-point Bama edge, 4.9 on the game clock as the Tigers will inbound it. They throw it into Cook, or check that to Cornelius. He'll run into the front court, puts up a 3 at the buzzer. He'll miss it, and the half will end with Alabama up by the slimmest of margins, 33-32, and Bryan will catch up with Coach Nate Oates.
Coach, thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, we're not good. We're not sharp, guys. Too many turnovers again on offense, and then defensively, we can't let their shooters get open. We just got to pick up our intensity and take care of the ball on offense.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Bryan. Thank you, Cooks Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. They bring us Coach Nate Oates at the half. 33-32. Jackson State trailing Alabama, the Crimson Tide, the 9th-ranked team in the nation. A struggle, but a lead going into the break here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Favorite jeans, favorite shirt. I can make a sausage and I'm firing it up. Yeah, everybody knows how I get my grill on. You can smell that flavor up and down the road. It's a little taste of heaven, and everybody knows. That's how I get my grill on. Kanaka sausage. It's just a little taste of heaven.
Hi, my name is Jackie, and a little thing that I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the whipped cream and the cherry on top. It's like a little bow on top of this great present of peppermint chip goodness. It tastes like the holidays.
Hey, my name is Chandler, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake is the little pieces of the peppermint that you get. For me, no milkshake is topping the peppermint chip milkshake.
Order a Chick-fil-A peppermint chip milkshake on the Chick-fil-A app today. Available for a limited time. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
College sports is full of great trash talkers. But what speaks louder than a verbal smackdown are stats. So we'll let Ford F-Series speak for itself. Like advanced capabilities, intelligent towing, smart technology, and 45 years as America's best-selling truck. That's Ford F-Series. Custom order your 2023 F-150 at your local Ford dealer, a proud supporter of college athletics. Some models, trims, and features may not be available based on 1977 to 2021 C-Ride total sales.
You can trust your car to the place with the star. With tech running your engine, enjoy your hobbies near and far. Fill your car with all your friends and love the time you spend. So trust your car to the Texaco Star.
When you fill up with Texaco with TechRun, you get unbeatable mileage to help fuel what you love to do. Download the Texaco app to find a station near you.
On the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield, Crimson Tide Basketball is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar, and refreshingly delicious. Golden Flake, the official potato chip of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Auto Owners Insurance. Visit RollTide.com/auto owners to partner with an independent Alabama agent. And by Cooks Pest Control and Centricon, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Welcome to the Toyota Halftime Report. Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Not a pretty half of basketball, but the Tide does lead Jackson State 33-32 at intermission. Looking at the individual numbers, Nick Pringle with 10 points, 5 rebounds, leading Alabama in scoring. He's second in boards behind Brandon Miller, who's got 8 rebounds to lead everybody there. He's also got 5 points, second most on the Bama team. Jaden Bradley, Noah Gurley with 4 each. Charles Bediako with a couple, the same for Darius Miles. Rylan Griffin and Javon Quinterly with 3 points apiece. Jackson State led by the 12-point effort in the first half of Ken Evans Jr. They've also gotten 2 each from both Trace Young and Courtside Young, 2 and 3, respectively, I should say, from Young and Young. Hunt with 2, Jones with 1, Cook with 2, Adams with 6, Cornelius and Mansell with 2 points each for the Tigers. 33-32, Alabama leading at the break. This is the Toyota Halftime Report, and we invite you to visit your local Toyota dealers or Toyota.com now to take advantage of the amazing deals in their full line of vehicles. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. Back to Tuscaloosa in a moment on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready for our little forest adventure?
Yes! So much waiting for me. Yeah, I wanna go outside. I wanna be.
We're here.
Whoa, that was fast.
There's a forest closer than you think. Find a park or forest near you and music inspired by nature. DiscoverTheForest.org. Brought to you by USDA Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're not too cool for me. And in return, I reciprocate that sentiment. I'll never be too cool for you. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. Please let it be noted that I told my job they can dock my pay. Right now, it's just too important to take you to school every day. I want to be legendary for you. I want you to puff out your chest when you go to school, the same way I do. I walk taller because of you, because I found everything to live for.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
This is Tom Stipe back at Coleman Coliseum with the Alabama Power scoreboard update. Alabama Power is proud to support the Crimson Tide. Halftime score, Bama leading Jackson State 33-32. Already final from the SEC today. Folks, it's a trifecta of doom here. Texas A&M loses at home to Wofford 67-62. Ole Miss loses at home to North Alabama 66-65. Mississippi State loses in Lincoln, Nebraska Holiday Tournament to Drake 58-52. Later, Oklahoma and Florida will tangle in another Holiday Tournament. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Bama's up by 1, 33-32 at the half. We'll take a look at team stats next. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last time out? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge of your seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the F's in sports. Regions helps you embrace the infinite life.
Member FDIC.
Tide fans, Golden Flake Snacks have been a proud partner with the Tide family for 65 years. The South's original potato chip, Golden Flake Snacks are delicious fan favorites because they're crafted from traditional Southern recipes. From crisp, perfectly flavored potato chips to light and airy pork rinds and fluffy, cheesy cheese puffs, Golden Flake Snacks are a winning combination with Alabama basketball. Share Golden Flake Snacks with your Tide family and friends. Simple, Southern goodness. That's Golden Flake.
We've all been caught up in the little chores that pile up every day. The dishes in the sink, the trash that needs taking out, the pesky check engine light. Isn't it time to make a change and escape to a whole new world of possibilities? Where there's dinner without dishes, nights filled with adventure, and every day you feel like a winner. A little change can go a long way when you escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
When time matters most, you go with what's tried and true. That's tried and true John Deere equipment and Tri-Green service. Tough chores don't stand a chance with a John Deere 4044M tractor. And right now you can get one with 0% financing. With a 43 horsepower engine, power reverser transmission, and a 10-year powertrain warranty, this John Deere helps you work with confidence day after day. So stop by one of our 29 Alabama and Tennessee locations or visit us online at TriGreenEquipment.com.
Offer ends January 31, 2023. 0% APR for 60 months, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Hey, Crimson Tide fans, as our state moves to the next chapter, the Alabama Department of Public Health is shifting strategies from emergency response to one that minimizes daily disruption to our lives. COVID-19 vaccines and boosters are widely available to anyone 6 months of age and older should you decide that you need one. Together, we can help to protect each other moving forward. For more information on COVID vaccines and virus prevention, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/COVID-19.
Working into the front court. Adams giving it out to Trace Young. His deep three is short. Rebound claimed by Sears. Nice move to get it ahead into the front court. He goes down the lane, dumps it off, and the flush for two by Pringle.
Bama leads Jackson State at the half, 33-32, and the sounds of the game are presented by Beatbox. Beatbox is now an official sponsor of the Crimson Tide. Each Beatbox is bursting with delicious flavors, gluten-free, low sugar, and resealable. Look for it in stores across the Southeast. Halftime stats delivered by Assurance Financial. In less time than halftime, you can apply for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. Shooting percentage, Bama 38% overall, 21 from Bank First 3-land, 8 of 12 from the foul line. For State, 34% overall, 33 outside the arc, 3 of 4 from the stripe. Team rebounding, Bama leads that 27-19. Turnovers, Bama 13, Tigers with 7. Again at the half, Bama leads Jackson State 33-32. That does it for the Toyota halftime report. Second half coming right up. This is the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
If you're looking for the best selection in Crimson Tide apparel, look no further than the Soup Store. The Soup Store is every Bama fan's ultimate destination for the hottest gear and accessories, with 3 great locations around campus to serve you: in Tuscaloosa on campus at the Ferguson Center, on the Strip in front of Bryant-Denny Stadium, and on Bryan Drive. If you can't get to Tuscaloosa, shop the Soup Store online at soupstore.ua.edu. The Soup Store is a proud partner of Alabama Athletics.
Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac is a local family-owned dealership in Tuscaloosa. Barkley has an award-winning service department, a state-of-the-art body shop, and a beautiful showroom waiting to welcome you. And BarkleyGMC.com opens our online showroom to you. Do what thousands of satisfied customers have already done. Get your new car, truck, or SUV from Barkley Buick GMC Cadillac, keeping Crimson Tide fans on the road for over 42 years.
To your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you, their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. This has been the Toyota Halftime Report. Visit your local Toyota dealers or explore Toyota.com today. No matter your destination, Toyota goes with you. Toyota, let's go places. The second half is just moments away. Roll Tide.
What to look for in the second half is presented by Marathon. When traveling to see the Crimson Tide, start with a fill-up at Marathon and make it a winning trip. Go to mileshavemeaning.com. Marathon, fueling the American spirit. Bama's up 1-33-32 at the half. Tom Stipe, Chris Stewart, Bryan Passink, BP. You called it a mindset game in pregame. We'll hope the mindset is different in the second half. Bama wasn't ready to play from the tip.
Yeah, the first 20 minutes, the mindset was, when do I get home for Christmas break? And for the second 20 minutes, it better be play Alabama basketball, and I'm sure that was discussed in the Alabama locker room. This Jackson State team at 1-10, as Nato said in the pregame show, they're better than advertised, but Alabama's top 10 in the country. They could come out, take care of business, and put doubt in the mind of the Jackson State Tigers early in the second half if they're ready to play. That was not the case in the first half. Hopefully, it will be in the second.
Ready to begin half number 2. It is a very confident, excited Jackson State 5 that'll take the floor. NATO to Alabama Crimson Tide. Focused. At least that's the appearance, and that is hopefully what we will see as this second half does indeed get underway. Jaden Bradley with the ball for the Crimson Tide, bringing it front court. Works off a big screen, and they're going to call Brandon Miller for a moving screen. Nate Oates is not happy with a call from Todd Austin, and in not getting after Todd Austin, he's getting in the ear of Jeffrey Anderson, who was the official closest to him.
And that was a situation, whether it was a foul or not, Jaden Bradley's got to wait on the screen to get set. That was a set play coming out of halftime. Brandon Miller goes to set a high ball screen. Jaden Bradley went a little bit too early, and it was close enough to get the call foul against Brandon Miller.
Tigers looking to take the lead, work it onto the right wing. They'll throw it top of the arc now to Trace Young. He'll take a couple of dribbles, working against Gurley. Young crosses to his right, gets cut off, gives it back out left side. Ken Evans Jr. He'll drive into the lane. He'll flip it back to Young. Now on the right side to Keevian Hunt. Hunt will go down the lane, puts up a high floater over Bediako, and Jackson State has taken a 34-33 lead over 9th-ranked Alabama. Here comes the Tide the other way, working it right corner to Bradley. Jaden throws it back to Sears. Step back three, bottom. A bank first three, and a good one for the Crimson Tide. Mo Williams, a timeout. He is livid with his guard, Keevian Hunt, and he'll use a timeout that will become a full. We're less than a minute into the second half. Alabama 36, Jackson State 34, here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to the proven protection of Centricon and Cook's Pest Control. Call Cook's today for a free evaluation.
Looky, 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 here comes Cookie, Cook's Pest Control.
College sports is full of great trash talkers. But what speaks louder than a verbal smackdown are stats. So we'll let Ford F-Series speak for itself. Like advanced capabilities, intelligent towing, smart technology, and 45 years as America's best-selling truck. That's Ford F-Series. Custom order your 2023 F-150 at your local Ford dealer. A proud supporter of college athletics. Some models, trims, and features may not be available based on 1977 to 2021 CY total sales.
Hey, Alabama fans, whether you want to sit courtside or score a bird's eye view, StubHub is the best place to grab your Tide tickets. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Crimson Tide. StubHub, be there. Bama's up 2 early in the second half, 19:07 to play in the ball game, 36-34. Bryan Passink, both you and Mo Williams play for a head coach that wouldn't hesitate to call a quick timeout after a defensive lack of effort like that.
Yeah, tough start for Alabama. Defensively, they give up a wide-open layup, and Mo Williams calls a timeout, but not sure Nate Oates didn't want it, but fortunately got the three to go down.
19:07 remaining here in this second half, and a quick timeout called by Mo to make sure his team gets locked back in as Alabama knocked down a three. A missed assignment, Bryan, and that's the type of play the Tigers can't commit, because when they did earlier, Bama took a 10-point advantage.
Yeah, Alabama needs to get stops, get out in transition, take care of the ball, and play hard, play focused. Alabama's the better team. A huge favorite in this game. You got to give Mo Williams and Jackson State a lot of credit. They have battled, they continue to battle, but if Alabama can do those things, got to play well here and hopefully pull away here in the second half against a solid Jackson State team.
They work it inside. They'll get a walk call on Jamarcus Jones, and that's a break for Alabama because they scored what could have been an and one if the walk hadn't been called first.
I would expect to see better effort defensively. Alabama, who has been one of the most improved teams in the country on that end of the floor, has done a great job defensively, with the exception of the Gonzaga game, missing Damari Burnett. Not off to a great start here defensively.
Bradley, a tough jumper off the bounce, wouldn't go. And here comes Jackson State the other way. Tigers getting it to Evans on the right side. He'll drive into the lane against Miller. A bounce pass on the left block. Right-handed jump hook rolls off, no good for Jones. Rebounded by Miller, and Brandon brings him himself into the front court. Crosses over, goes to the elbow. Tried the no-look pass there to Bradley, but it was deflected out of bounds by Jackson State. Initially called out of bounds by Alabama, but Jeffrey Anderson's going to come over and discuss things with his fellow official, Bharat Ramnanan, and they're going to stay with the call. So it will be Jackson State basketball.
It's a good idea. Brandon Miller had Jaden Bradley. Looked like the ball did get deflected, but officials did not see it that way, and ball goes back over to the Tigers.
Kevian Hunt on the drive, gets into the lane, double team, works a pass left side. The open three is missed. Rebound, though, claimed by Evans, going up high above everyone. Has to work it back out deep to Trace Young, and then hands it off again to Evans. Shot clock down to 10. Now at 9. Evans working against Mark Sears. Evans trying to step back, picks up the dribble, dumps it off onto the right side. Little floater from the baseline missed by Hunt. The rebound claimed weak side by Miller. Brandon brings it ahead with Bama up by only 2, 36-34. The 9th-ranked team in America being pushed by Jackson State. On the drive, Gurley tried to unload it, does to Bediako, got fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. I think Gurley was trying desperately. His eyes saw Bediako wide open. He just couldn't get his hands to cooperate.
Bediako was all by himself, it seemed like forever, by the block. And finally, the ball gets to him. He goes up a little bit later than we all would have liked. If he could have gotten the ball a few seconds earlier, an easy, wide open dunk, but the hesitation allows Jackson State to come over and force Charles Bediako to go to the line for 2.
Charles shooting a pair of free throws. His first attempt no good off the back iron, as Alabama's now 8 of 13 from the free throw line for the ball game. Second attempt up. That one rattles out no good. Good hustle by Gurley to try to keep it alive, but he couldn't control the ball. And Bediako, who was a 43% free throw shooter coming in, sees that number drop, going 0 for 2. He's made only 8 of 32 from the stripe. I'll get it right.
And he ended the year last season as a solid free throw shooter, but he has struggled here in his sophomore season.
Yeah, 9 of 23. I'll get the numbers right eventually. As on the other end of the floor, Jackson State knocks it out of bounds. Touched last by the Tigers, and Bama will get the ball back. Sears, Bradley, Bediako, Gurley, and Miller, the 5 out there for the Crimson Tide. Mark gets it front court, works off the screen for Bediako, whips a pass right side to Gurley. Noah will drive, gets into the lane, steps through traffic, off the glass and in. Boy, he earned that one, Bryan, because he got bumped hard about 3 or 4 times. The whistle finally came on the last bump.
And that's a play that Noah Gurley could make with more consistency than he has this year. The ability to shoot the 3, but this time he dribbles down, backs his man down. When he has a smaller man on him, we've seen him do that from time to time. He has that ability, but has had a tendency to turn it over in those situations when guards come down and swipe at the ball. He takes care of it, strong with it, takes the contact, up and in, and a 3-point play as a result.
It does indeed get the and one. Gurley knocks it home. Crowd trying to make a little noise for the first time tonight. Bama leading by 5, 39-34 with 16:44 remaining in the contest. Jones with it at the right elbow, picks up the dribble, hands it off to Hunt, who got away with a walk. Hunt will put it on the deck, backing it out away from Sears. Now takes it right side, gives it off to Jones at the elbow. Gets into the paint, working against Bediako, just ripped away by Sears. Mark behind the back with a dribble, gets it into the front court. Behind the back with a dribble again. Bumped again, no whistle. Gets into the lane, bumped again, no whistle. Lays it up, no. And a foul's gonna be called on Bediako on the rebound. They beat Mark Sears like he was a piñata going down the right side of the lane. Bediako breathed on somebody on a rebound attempt, and they call him for a foul.
Well, that's a great job by Mark Sears defensively to start the Alabama fast break. And you're right, showed strength right there, taking contact. Charles Bediako, unfortunately, will have to check out, but Nick Pringle, who was the player of the first half for Alabama, 10 points, 5 rebounds, a big lift off the bench for the Crimson Tide, will check in.
Whew. Mercy. 16-10 and moving, time left here in the second half. Bama up 5. Driving, pulling up from 12 and knocking down the jumper will be Evans. Ken Evans Jr. getting it to go as now Bradley comes the other way for Bama to Gurley on the far wing, gets into the paint, steps through, lays it up nicely in with the left hand to put the Bama lead at 5 once more.
Nado's talked about Noah Gurley needing to step up for this team, and he's done that at times in this game. The last couple of possessions, taking it strong to the hoop.
Evans, tough floater off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Gurley. Pivots, had it ripped out of his arms, goes to the deck to save it, knocked away again. This time they will say it's Bama basketball. 15:31, the time left. Everybody apparently trying to get home for Christmas. 41-36, Bama by 5 with 15:31 to play on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
This is an important message from the Mine Safety and Health Administration. Mining fatalities, accidents, and injuries are preventable. Taking a minute to approach your task safely can protect you and your fellow miners from injury and death. Staying alert and focused can keep you safe. Do it safe. Do it right. Whether buckling a seatbelt or securing equipment, these quick safety measures can prevent injuries and fatalities. Take time. Save lives. For more resources, visit MSHA.gov.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around us.
We go through safety training and try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
Bama's up 41-36, 15-31 to go in the ball game against Jackson State. You can protect your team by getting the COVID-19 vaccine. Remember, in Alabama, Tide fans ages 12 and older are eligible. For more information, visit alcovidvaccine.gov. Tom Stipe, Chris Stewart, Bryan Passink, we are sitting courtside. Bryan, if you were on the other side of the court, what would Nate Oates be saying right now about the second half effort?
Well, I mean, same thing that he talked about in the first half. Take care of the ball offensively, execute, and defensively get back and force difficult shots. And so far, Alabama's done a pretty good job of those things here in the second half. Good start for Noah Gurley. He's gone to the basket strong a couple of times, had an and one, able to finish on the next possession. But You know, it's mindset for Alabama. That was the case in the first half, and it's why Jackson State was able to hang around. They are hanging around in this game, but much better start to the second half than we saw to end the first half for Alabama. It was a 10-point lead that turned into just a 1-point lead going into halftime. Got to give Mo Williams and the Tigers a lot of credit, but Alabama has been up and down with their focus here in this game.
Out of the timeout, Javon Quinterly, Mark Sears, Brandon Miller, Nick Pringle, and Noah Gurley. Your 5 on the floor for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Cook, Evans, Adams, Mansell, and they get one more. Let's see who it is. I think Ken Evans Jr. may be the 5th out there for Jackson. Actually, Cole Ty Young is the 5th. Quinterly on the drive, gets to the rim, gets it to go as he lays it in off the glass. He got the friendly roll as well.
2 guys that I think are going to play better in the conference season than they have in the non-conference. One is Javon Quinterly. Obviously, with coming back from injury, there's some rust. He's been up and down. He's way ahead of schedule, but he's going to get better and better as we start and go through the SEC. I think Noah Gurley's another guy who can step up his game. We've seen him do that here in the earlier part of the second half, so hopefully both of those guys will play well here in the second 20 minutes.
JQ trying to convert the and one, does just that, and Alabama with a 44-36 advantage. 10 points was the biggest lead at 31-21. The Tide led it just 31-30 at the half, though. Jackson State with the basketball. Tigers work it to the top of the arc. They'll pull up for a jumper. It's Evans missing it off the back iron. Tipped out by Pringle into the hands of Sears. And Martin will bring it the other way. Gets it to the top of the arc. Let's fly for 3. Bottom. And Bama has its biggest lead at 11.
Nick Pringle doing the job here in the second half. Got the contest, the rebound. That started the Alabama fast break. And Mark Sears playing with confidence. He struggled shooting the ball against Gonzaga. Doing a good job here in the second half.
5th bank first 3 on 16 attempts by Alabama. The Tide leads it 47-36. Tigers work it into the front court, get it into the post. They'll miss a little floater, and an incredibly late whistle is blown right there on the Crimson Tide and Nick Pringle. Good night.
Boy, Nick Pringle has played so well in this game. And listen, this is one of those games where there have not been a lot of stars for the Crimson and White, but Nick Pringle off the bench. He's been given an opportunity with Noah Clowney out due to illness. Charles Bediako, a little bit of foul trouble early. Nick Pringle has come in and done a great job on both ends, leading the way for Alabama with points, 10 points, 6 rebounds, doing the job defensively as well. Thought he did a nice job of staying vertical right there, but unfortunately the call goes against him.
Zeke Cook hits the first of 2 gifts. He'll have another attempt upcoming. That one's good as well. By the way, the foul whistled on Pringle, and that was his second. Both free throws good. It's 47-38. Bama lead down to 9 with 14:24 remaining. JQ on the drive, throws it all the way right side. Gurley all alone, 3, 5.
Great job by JQ getting in the lane. The defense converges. Noah Gurley all by himself, able to take his time, step into the 3 and knock it down.
Bama by a dozen, and a hold is called on Gurley on the other end.
Good start for Alabama offensively. 6 for 8 from the field, 75%, and a perfect 3 for 3 from deep.
By the way, that's a foul, but it hasn't been tonight. And Nate Oates just got a technical because Todd Austin got a little sensitive. Bless him. That is pretty weak. Five team fouls on Alabama. And at the stripe, hitting the first of 2 technical free throws is Chase Adams. Makes it 50-39. Again, we've got 14:09 left to go. Second free throw drops as well. Coach Oates not pleased with the lack of consistency in terms of what is being called a foul and what is not.
And the consistent
diplomatically enough
consistency
in the holiday season
of what is a technical and what is not.
Yeah, that's a good
because
point,
that was not much and not deserved, in my opinion.
Tigers with the basketball, down by 10. They almost lost it out high with Cornelius shoveling it over to Adams. Adams now working on the right wing against Miller. Adams pulling up from 15. Missed it, and it was an air ball that Cook caught and then laid in for 2. So a 4-point trip for Jackson State cuts the Bama lead to 8. JQ on the other end. Leaves it right side. Gurley, 3. That's an air ball caught by Pringle. Tried to hit it to Miller. He gets hacked, no whistle. And the ball is taken away by Jackson State. They tried to save it, then lose it out of bounds. Great job by Brandon Miller. Got a deflection on it. Adams had to track it down and couldn't secure the basketball. It'll belong to the Crimson Tide with 13:23 to go.
Alabama got a good look with Noah Gurley, who's played really well here in the second half. Too strong with it. That started the Tigers' fast break, but good transition defense by Alabama.
Gurley gets fouled on the far wing, or at least that was the call. Chase Adams guilty of that one. His second. And that is team foul number 4 this half, I believe, on the Tigers. JQ working against a zone now from Jackson State, weaving through traffic, gets to the rim. Boy, that looked really easy there. JQ's bucket with 13 minutes to go gives Bama once again a 10-point lead.
Nice start off the bench here in the second half for JQ. Nice passes and able to finish right there by himself against the 2-3 zone.
Tigers with Cornelius with it, left wing. Cornelius trying to work against Pringle, gets underneath, dumps it off right side to Mansell. Back in the corner they'll go, and the 3 is up and good. Knocked down by Keontae Cornelius. Just his second game that he has played for the Tigers this year. Bama the other way, Sears, left corner 3 to answer, too strong, and the rebound is controlled by Jackson State. 7-point Bama advantage. Cornelius, a deep 3 left side. That one just grazed the rim, and Miller claims it for Alabama, and he will push it ahead. Brandon with numbers to Sears on the wing. Nice drive to the lane, and he lays it up and in.
Great job by Mark Sears. Brandon Miller had an open look, but recognized his teammate was even more open. The pump fake got Mark Sears free. He was wide open. Thought he wanted to throw it down, but ends up with a layup.
12 minutes to play. Bama up by 9, 54-45. Adams with it out high for Jackson State. Playing off a screen for Mansell. Gets to the elbow, hesitates, dumps it back left side to Cook. Cook into the lane. Wild circus shot, no good. Rebounded by Pringle. Outlet pass to JQ. Ahead in transition. Gurley lays it up and in for 2. A beautiful fast break for Alabama.
Bama getting stops. JQ with a beautiful look ahead. And Noah Gurley able to finish through contact with the finger roll.
Mansell on the drive. Offensive foul. A great job on the part of Nick Pringle to take the offensive foul. Timeout on the floor. 11:29 to play. Bama 56. Jackson State 45 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with 0 sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is the moment you've been waiting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our home.
When you step onto the court and into the spotlight. The moment to show that hard work and long days pay off. Because when that final shot leaves your hands and we leave our seats, that powerful moment connects us all. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Power for a better Alabama.
11:29 to play in the ball game. Bama's up 56-45, and each official review is brought to you by My Eye Doctor. with more than 20 locations that might make your eye appointment more convenient. Eye care and eyewear really are better together. At My Eye Doctor, visit myiDR.com to learn more. Tom Stipe, Bryan Passink, Chris Stewart playing referee here. The best stuff really doesn't get on the air, does it?
Depends on whether you do your job or not.
Come to think of it, you're right.
And keep it off the air. We want to keep our jobs, although it is entertaining, that's for sure. And Nick Pringle getting it done for Alabama off the bench. He's had a great opportunity here in this game with Noah Clowney out due to illness. He should be back very soon and be available in Alabama's next game as far as we know. And other guys, when guys are out, whether it's injury, whether it's sickness, you get an opportunity to play. This is a deep Alabama team. Nick Pringle probably hasn't gotten as many minutes as he would like, but he's earning minutes here tonight. 10 points, 8 rebounds. He's been incredible on the defensive end. 10 and 8 off the bench from your big man who hasn't played a ton of minutes this year is a great stat line, but that doesn't tell half the story. He has been dominant on the defensive end, so active, so athletic, and he has responded when given the opportunity. There haven't been a whole lot of bright spots in this game. Jackson State has come in after struggling with a 1-10 record and given Alabama all they wanted. But Nick Pringle has stepped up in a big way, and Alabama's doing a much better job here in the second half, shooting close to 70% since halftime.
Darius Miles in the game for Alabama, along with Rylan Griffin, as Sears brings it ahead, gives way to Bradley, who will set it up center of the floor. Working between the rings now, dribbles to his right, goes down the lane, got bumped. That'll be a hip check called on Kevian Hunt.
Jaden Bradley has the ability to just get by people. When you look at him, doesn't look like the quickest, most explosive player, but he's quick. And he has that deceptive explosiveness, but also strength to get by people and draw fouls.
Sears gets the inbounds pass, gets underneath the basket, kicks it out right side. Griffin, catch and shoot three, no good. Rebound tipped into the air by Bediako, claiming it for the Tide. Now to Miles, now to Bradley. All alone three, that one's short. Rebound again, Bediako able to claim it. The 7-footer just reaching over a shorter player. Now inside, Bradley spins, looks, back out to Miles. Darius spinning in the lane, looking down low, throws it away. Bad pass and a takeaway by Jackson State. They'll flip it into the right corner. Their three attempt is no good, but a long rebound goes right into the hands of Evans. Works it back right corner to Trace Young. His three is good.
Alabama had some opportunities offensively. Great job by Charles Bediako with a couple of offensive rebounds. Jaden Bradley had Charles for a dunk, not able to see him, and Bama turned it over.
Sears picks it up, throws it right side. Bradley all alone three. That one's no good either. Rebound tipped and controlled by Jackson State.
He looks a little out of rhythm with his three, almost like he's taking too much time, slows it down so much, not able to connect.
Here's Jackson State with the basketball. Bama up by 8, 56-48, and the Tigers throw it away. An errant pass there. Young couldn't hang on to it, and the Tide fortunate to get it back.
You see a lot of guys, young players, that rush their shot, and you can tell he's emphasized taking his time, but maybe a little too much. Is Jaden Bradley so good going to the basket? He's been up and down as a three-point shooter. I think he'll get better as the year goes on in that regard.
Bradley with the basketball, working it back to Sears. Fakes a three, nice feed inside. Bediako's got himself set, went up and was able to score easily over a smaller defender.
Good ball movement by Alabama. The extra pass by Mark Sears, and Angry Chuck able to finish.
Hunt dumping it off inside. A nice feed to Jones, who throws it down. Bama had rotated over defensively, left a man wide open, and he was able to get the easy bucket, cutting the Tide lead to 8 again, 58-50 with 9.5 minutes to go in the second half here in Tuscaloosa.
And the goal is to not have to rotate if you can stay in front of your man.
Bradley on the drive, throws a lob. Bediako missed the dunk, and the rebound controlled by Jackson State. It was the right look. Bediako just couldn't keep the shot down. And now on the drive is Hunt. Runner off the glass, missed it. Rebound tipped and claimed by Bediako. He'll pick up the dribble, hands it off to Miller, and Brandon will bring it front court. Miller playing off the screen, has it top of the arc, left side. The lob to Bediako got bumped as again Trace Young doing whatever he can to try to keep the 7-footer from getting to the rim, but just not able to defend him.
Alabama doing a much better job with ball movement, finding Charles Bediako. Had an alley-oop not go down. It was a nice pass. Looked like Charles just didn't have his feet under him, went up, tried to dunk it, probably just should have attempted to lay it in, but another pass inside to Charles. This time he gets fouled and he'll go to the line for 2.
Bediako at the stripe again for Alabama. Able to knock down the first.
Actually, they said that was a 1-and-1.
Yeah.
Thought he was going into a shooting motion, but that was a front end that Charles was able to connect, and he'll get a chance for 2.
He's 1 of 3 so far from the stripe. Again, about 42% on the season for Bediako.
He started off the season like that last year, and the rest of the way was over 70%, so capable. He's worked hard on his shot. He's put a lot of weight on, a lot of muscle. A better player than he was as a freshman, had a solid freshman year.
This is the free throw on the second attempt, though, and the rebound's controlled by Trace Young. Near still by Sears, got a hand on it, but couldn't control it. I'm curious, when you said put a lot of weight on, and then
Not like
said
us.
a lot of muscle, why did you look at me when you were saying that?
Not like us. It's a different kind of weight.
I lost a lot of weight at one point. You're among the reasons I put the weight back on. Thankfully.
We do have a good time on the road.
Tigers with a basketball. Trailing Alabama by 9, 59-50. Crimson Tide with the lead over Jackson State. They'll work it into the paint with Adams, weaving through traffic. Dumps it inside. Good deflection by Sears, knocking it out of bounds. And the possession will stay with Jackson State with 7 on the shot clock. 8:26 on the game clock. And Bama leading the Tigers 59-50.
Not a matchup you planned on seeing. 5'8" Chase Adams against the 7-footer Charles Bediako.
They inbound it, they'll drive, they'll shoot, and they'll miss. The floater from Ken Evans wouldn't go. And here comes Sears the other way for Alabama. Mark crossing over, having it at the top of the arc. Double team, one-handed pass to Bradley. Skip pass left side Miller, fakes a pass, now drives left, gets into the paint. Little teardrop, rolls off, no good. Bediako tips it to himself, now gets it out to Sears. Deep 3, short, rebound fought for. Griffin got a hand on it, he hits the deck, and a whistle. And what have we got a foul on? It's gonna be, I believe, on Jackson State.
Charles Bediako with his 9th rebound. It seems like he's got 100 rebounds, doing the job defensively and offensively on the backboard. A big reason why Alabama's #1 in the country in that category. #1 in American rebounding, offense and defense.
Timeout on the floor, 7:56 to play. Bama 59, Jackson State 50 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
Bama's up 59-50, 7:56 to go in the ball game against Jackson State. Best move of the game is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support the Crimson Tide. BP, what is the best move of the game?
Well, Alabama's getting production from the center position, and the best moved the last few possessions have been offensive rebounds, and Charles Bediako has gotten several of those. He's got just 5 points, but 9 rebounds, and Bama's centers have produced here in this game. Nick Pringle, who's not gotten the opportunity to play significant minutes in the early part of the season with Noah Clowney out, he's gotten that opportunity, and he's produced. He's earned more minutes on the floor. He's got 10 points and 8 rebounds. So Bama with 15 points, 17 rebounds at the center position. So getting it done on the inside.
Out of the timeout, Brand 38. Trying to get to 11 points right here, and Brandon has that one pop out, no good. Rebound claimed by the Tigers, Jamarcus Jones, and they will bring it into the front court, 2 hour left. Adams goes right side to Courtside Young. Now back to Adams, spinning down low. Shot missed by Jones, but they're going to call a foul on Noah Gurley. He got the block up high, but they say got him with the body a little bit, or he came down with the arms and committed the foul after he got the block.
Good physical defensive play. Officials telling Noah that he came down with his arms. Not so sure that was the case. I assumed it was before the shot went up because he stayed vertical. The officials at least explaining it differently than what we all saw, but that'll send Jackson State to the line. Noah Gurley with a nice game, especially offensively. 14 points, 6 for 12 from the field. He struggled shooting the ball, but it's done a nice job taking it strong to the basket.
Jones hitting the first, his second one hits a lot of iron and then got it to drop. It's one of those makes at the state fair. It hits every bit of rim and somehow goes in occasionally. Sears with it front court for Alabama. Now to Bradley with Tide up by 8. Sears trying to drive, got cut off, changes direction. Splits 2 defenders. Miller, 3-ball left side, short. Rebound tipped into the air and controlled by the Tigers. It's Trace Young claiming it. Now they'll get it back to him, or tried to in the front court, but a turnover by Jackson State. On the handoff, it goes to Griffin on a nice feed from Bradley, and Bama pushes the lead back up to 10.
Nice play by Jaden Bradley. Bama gets the stop, the turnover, and a couple of Jackson State players thought that Bradley was going to go to Miller on the left side, but drops it off to the other freshman, Rylan Griffin, on the right. He gets an easy layup as a result.
Adams with the basketball, a step back 3 from 20. He shot at 21, and Bama catches the air ball, comes the other way. Miller going down the lane, couldn't get the layup to go, but he got fouled on the play by Chase Adams. So he'll go to the line to shoot 2 for Alabama.
Bama once again gets the stop and out in transition. We didn't see that nearly enough in the first half, especially late in the first half, but Alabama's picked up the defensive intensity. Nice pass inside to Brandon Miller, and he'll go to the line.
Made 1 of 2 just a few moments ago. He hits the first of 2 attempts here. We'll see Adams check out. Zeke Cook comes in to replace him for the Tigers. Also a change for Alabama as Gurley exits, and Charles Bediako will come in to replace him. Miller's second attempt, perfect.
It's been a little short on a couple of free throws, couple of threes. You could see him really extend that follow through, and the result, nothing but net.
Bama matching its biggest lead. It's at 12. Let's see if we can get a stop and build on that right here. Evans giving it off at the elbow to Trace Young. He will face the basket. He'll drive in. He'll shoot the lefty leaner and get it to rattle in. Back to a 10-point game, 64-54 with 6:18 to go. Bama into the front court with Bradley. Bradley over to Miller. Gives it off right side to Sears. Mark cut off, gets into the lane. Throws it back out to Griffin on the wing. He'll drive into the paint. Tough shot. It rolls off, no good. Well, that was a nice look, nice move. It just wouldn't stay down for him. And Jackson State cut it to single digits again.
Really a nice play by Rylan Griffin. Did everything but finish.
Tigers get it to the elbow, and Trace Young looking right, gives it off to Evans on the right wing. Evans trying to shake free from Griffin. A step back 3 with a hand in his face, and he got it to go. Just enough separation there for Ken Evans Jr., who averages over 11 points per game, to get that one to go, and the Bama lead is down to 7 again. Here's Bradley the other way, going downhill, kicks it out to Sears. His 3 to answer is good.
Well, you know, it's just a matter of time for Mark Sears. Really struggled shooting the ball on Saturday against Gonzaga. This time, Jaden Bradley gets inside the defense, his 7th assist of the night, finding Mark Sears.
10-point game. Bama on top. Tigers throw it away. A takeaway by Sears. We got numbers. 3-on-1. Sears hesitates, got tripped, and that foul is going to be whistled on Jackson State's Trace Young.
And that'll send Mark Sears to the line for 2. Bama now in the double bonus the rest of the way. Good job defensively. The hesitation move. He had Charles Bediako. He's either going to get a layup. If the defense came to him, Bediako would have had the dunk. But instead, it'll be 2 at the line coming up for Sears.
4th foul on Young. Team foul. Team limit for Jackson State. 2-shot opportunity for Sears, and he hits the first. Mark with 12 points in the ball game. It's his first free throw attempt of the night. He'll have one more upcoming. With 5:06 to go, and Bama up by 11. Second one good as well. So Bama leads by a dozen again. About the 3rd time they've had an advantage that size. See if they'll stop the Tigers here. A missed 3, but a foul is going to be whistled on Sears. He was trying to play through the screen and is called for the foul on what was a short attempt by Courtside Young.
Love the effort by Mark Sears, and just got into the shooter a little bit late, but fighting over the screen. Love the effort. Maybe took slightly the wrong angle, and unfortunately fouls a 3-point shooter, sending Jackson State to the line for 3.
Courtside Young missing the first of 3. He averages 9.5 points and 2.5 rebounds per outing. Second attempt up. That one's perfect. And the Bama lead is cut down to 11. 69-58 with one more free throw to come for Courtside Young. That one pops out no good, but the rebound claimed by Jackson State. They work it around the horn, narrowly stolen by Griffin, but deflected out of bounds by the Crimson Tide. Good hustle trying to get in the passing lane from Rylan Griffin, but he could not get the steal.
Well, that's frustrating for the #1 rebounding team in the country to give up a rebound on a free throw. Just tells you, guys expected that ball to go in, didn't block out.
Tigers with it, working out high between the circles. Hunt, 2 on the shot clock. He just gets it away in time, rolls off, no good, and Bediako had it, or fought for it, ripped it away from a Tiger, but couldn't hang on to it. It goes out of bounds, and it is that kind of night. Now, when you do the right thing, it doesn't necessarily go your way.
Yeah, 3rd opportunity right now for Jackson State. Alabama making it difficult on themselves on this possession.
Tigers will inbound it. Left side, a 3 is up. It's no good, and the air ball is caught by the Tide's Jaden Bradley. He brings it ahead to Sears. Mark to Bradley. Steps through, kicks it back to Sears. He goes down the lane. Tough shot, left-handed. He got it to crawl over the rim and in.
The Euro step by Mark Sears. Alabama finally gets the stop out in transition. Mark Sears with a high degree of difficulty. Off the glass, around the rim and in.
Tigers come back the other way. Far side with it to Evans. Evans working now against Miller. Goes to his left, gets into the lane, dumps it on the baseline left side. Jumper up and good by Mansell. And it's 71-60. Alabama up by 11. Crimson Tide with the basketball with 3:41 to go. We'll do a media timeout on the next dead ball. Left side, Bradley. Had it poked away, got it back. Gets into the lane, gets to the rim, had it knocked away. No, deflected into the corner. Griffin, 3, no good, and a rebounding foul is going to be whistled on Jackson State. A timeout on the floor with 3:27 to go. Bama 71, Jackson State 60. Here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Red Diamond knows that prepping for the perfect holiday meal isn't always easy. From making sure there's an option for your cousin Steve from Chicago,
I require a plant-based diet,
to making sure your father-in-law's favorite is on the table.
Boiled Brussels sprouts? Gross.
The holidays can be hard. Thankfully, you've got fresh brewed Red Diamond iced tea. It's the perfect sip of pure perfection that always brings people together. Red Diamond. Perfect's not easy.
Game day is full of ifs.
Like if Alabama can take home another Iron Bowl victory. Who knows? But if you want the most convenient way to pay in T-Town, get the University of Alabama Regents Visa debit card. Tap to pay contactless card technology and Lock-It card controls give you what you need on game day or any day. To order your card, visit regents.com/GoBama. Regents, official bank of the SEC. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Bama's up on Jackson State, 71-60, 3:27 to go in the ball game. Be sure and stay tuned after the game for the Regents postgame show with Bama coach Nate Oates. And don't forget, you can get your University of Alabama Visa check card from Regents. Visit regents.com/GoBama to order yours today. BP, Mo Williams has done a good job with this ball club. We haven't played particularly well. What do you learn from a game like this if you're Nate Oates of the Crimson Tide?
Well, you're trying to get better every day, and Alabama has done some things better here in the second half, and one thing they've done better is taking care of the ball. 13 first-half turnovers, 4 in the second half. If that number stays low, Alabama's going to get their 10th win of the season, and after a difficult non-conference slate, you would absolutely take and be happy with 10-2. Now, this Jackson State team is better than their record. Mo Williams has done a really good job. They've continued to battle. This is a team that's gone on the road and won at SMU. It was a 2-possession game against number 15 Mississippi State on the road, 10-point game against Michigan. So they've competed with some of the top teams, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump and get many wins. Alabama has played a lot of this game like they're ready to go on Christmas break, and I've been there, and it's hard, and it's understandable. Now, the coaches don't quite see it that way, and they want to see this team finish strong, take care of the ball, play with intensity on the defensive end, and play smart, execute offensively. If they do that, you'll get out of here with a victory, but you got to give Mo Williams a lot of credit. This team has battled from Jackson State, and they played well.
Have indeed, as Charles Bediako goes to the line. Charles 1 for 4 from the stripe this evening. Gets the first one to go. That one was perfect. It's a shot that doesn't look bad when it leaves his hand.
He's got a really soft touch around the basket and at the free throw line. I think that percentage is going to go up. And all his misses, just like that one, long.
Right.
Soft touch doesn't matter when you shoot it off the back of the rim. If you shoot a little short, you might get the rim, the roll. But Charles, a little bit long there and misses it.
Ball thrown away on the other end by Jackson State. Bama controls it. JQ in the game. He, along with Sears, Miller, Bediako, and Gurley are the 5 on the floor with 3 minutes remaining. JQ splitting defenders, driving behind the back pass. Bediako the flood.
And that is vintage JQ. The hesitation move, got past his man. So smooth behind the back to Charles Bediako, who throws it down. On the drive, floater up, missed by the Tigers' Ken Evans Jr., but a foul's going to be whistled on Javon Quinterly. Back to the other end, the offensive end, and the pass by JQ. Some may call that flashy, and yeah, there's some flash to it, but it was the right pass. Where the defender was to go behind his back was where he had to go, but he just made it look so smooth. Yeah, he's smooth. That was the right play, and he does have flash in his game, but there was no way he could have gotten it to Charles Bediako other than what he did. Beautiful play by the veteran.
And a great catcher, and a lot of 7-footers that could make that catch other than Bediako. He did right there and finished it off, and now Jackson State makes their first free throw on the other end.
Talked about the soft hands of Charles Bediako as a shooter, but also catching the ball. He and Nick Pringle, both big men for Alabama, have great hands.
Couple of free throws good by Evans to make it a 12-point game again. Bama leading it briefly by 14, their biggest advantage of the night. 2:40 to go. Brandon Miller getting it front court for Alabama. He'll drive to his right. He'll go down the lane and he'll throw it home. Got away with a push-off, too.
And you might want to guard him. Defense didn't come over. He rises up high and throws it down.
He got a stiff arm on Evans to create a little separation before he started his drive down the lane.
Evans has been talking trash to Brandon Miller, so I think Brandon enjoyed that one.
If he's talking trash there, it was put out by the street on a nice block by Gurley. We'll block that one about 5 rows up for Alabama.
Nice game for Gurley. 14 points, 4 rebounds, and a big-time block right there.
Quick inbounds pass goes to Courtside Young. He'll miss, but the putback is good by Mansell. 76-64. Bama leading it by a dozen. 2:05 remaining. Bama with the ball. JQ playing off the screen. Goes to his right, steps through, flips it back to Bediako. Charles hands it off to Quinterly. Quinterly driving left, goes down the lane, cut off. Goes back to the wing, goes to the corner, whips a pass with the left hand to Gurley. He'll pull up for 15 and knock it down. 1:40 to go. Bama leading it by 14 again, 78-64. Right wing. Jackson State misses a deep 3 by Young, and the Tide will come the other way. Miller in transition. Miller weaving through traffic, gets into the paint. Nice no-look feed. Bediako, the flush.
He was looking at Javon Quinterly in the corner. Jackson State saw what we saw, the no-look pass. He finds an open teammate, Charles Bediako, who finishes with the layup.
Timeout, Mo Williams with 1:25 to go. Alabama stretching this one out to 16. And they have fought really hard, the Tigers have, to not just keep this respectable, but to keep Alabama within reach. Now that it's gotten likely out of reach at 16 with 1:25 to go. This is one of those that if everybody checked the paper in the mornings, if you're Mo Williams, you're wanting this to finish well so it'll look good tomorrow, and it tells the full story of what this game has been.
Well, the good news for Mo Williams is there are a lot of people that are paying attention, close attention to Alabama basketball, that have seen his team and play well. Alabama has struggled in this game, especially in the first half, but thought they came out much more focused in the second, took care of the ball, got stops, but Mo Williams' Jackson State team has battled throughout, and Alabama fortunate to get some performances in a game where they're not full speed. They weren't full speed Saturday because of injury and also illness. Noah Clowney, one of the best freshmen, not only in the SEC, I think one of the best freshmen in the country, unavailable due to illness, but Nick Pringle has had an opportunity to play more minutes, and he stepped up in a big way. 10 points, 8 rebounds, getting the job done defensively. And the guy that has started in Noah Clowney's place, Noah Gurley, with a big game, 16 points, 4 rebounds, and just had a big block a couple of possessions ago.
Tell you what, the most energy we've had in the building tonight is Alabama's got its biggest lead of the night. A lot of kids, and this is one of those ball games right here at the holidays where there's probably some youngsters that have never been to an Alabama sporting event before that get a chance to come tonight. It's great to have you here, and hope you'll come back. It's going to be a fun team to watch. Adams with it front court for Jackson State. They get it to Young. He misses the 3 badly. Bama controls it, and the Tide will walk the ball ahead. Front court, JQ. Spreading the floor, running a little clock. He will go down the lane. He'll throw a lob. Miller couldn't climb the ladder high enough to get it, but he does secure the ball for Alabama. Now Quinterly, 3, short, and the rebound controlled by Jackson State. They run front court with Trace Young. Nearly threw it away. Ball stripped, out of bounds, touched last by Jackson State.
Brandon Miller with a smile on his face because he had a look at the alley-oop, but JQ usually accurate with the lobs, way too high. If Brandon Miller can't get it, nobody can.
He elevated. And Mo Williams getting some young guys on the floor, and that's what Nate Oates is going to do with his team up 16 with 52 seconds to go. You got the youngsters in. Jaden Quinterly, younger brother of JQ. Also, Delaney Hurd. Also, Adam Cottrell. And also Rylan Griffin and Nick Pringle. JQ2 with the basketball out high with 20 on the shot clock. He'll drive to the elbow, kicks it back to Griffin. Griffin will throw the lob to Pringle, caught it underneath and throws it home. He's had a really nice game.
He has, and the athleticism to go up high to catch it. Didn't have to take a step, goes right back up and throws it down.
Tigers on the other end nearly threw it away because of the good defense, and in fact they do hit the sideline there. Jelani Bell, who's seeing his first action, ran out of real estate, and with 24.5 seconds remaining, Bama ball, their biggest lead at 82-64. Quinterly will get it front court. He'll drive to his right, gets into the lane. Tough shot, left hand. No, Pringle is there, though, to clean it up. And he will make it a 20-point lead, 84-64. And the Tigers are going to run out the clock. That's really what Nate Oates wanted. He kind of looked down at Mo and said, I'm sorry. Didn't want the extra bucket put on there, but the Tide did take advantage of it. Nate Oates, a lot of respect for Mo Williams, and Mo Williams, a lot of respect for Nate Oates, the man who is leading his alma mater. Great to see the Tide pay tribute to Mo by giving Jackson State this ball game, but also great to see Mo and the love and respect he still has for his alma mater. That was evident as we visited earlier today.
Yeah, really happy for Mo Williams and what he's been able to build in his coaching career. Started at Alabama State, did a great job for a couple of years, got the Jackson State job where he's from, but a guy that was a high school All-American, freshman of the year in the Southeastern Conference, won an SEC title his freshman year, went on, had a terrific career at the NBA level, won a championship, played in an all-star game, and now he's doing a good job. And love to see Mo Williams, a great player, a great person, and turning into a terrific coach.
See if we're going to get our coach. If we will get him before we get a chance to take the break or not. I think we might here in just a second as the Crimson Tide gets the 84-64 win. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Alabama a winner, 84-64. The final score in this one is the Crimson Tide gets the victory over the Tigers of Jackson State. With the loss, they fall to 1-11 on the year. With a victory, Alabama improves to 10-2 going into the Christmas break. And the head coach of the Crimson Tide does indeed join us here courtside. Coach, congratulations. Wasn't a thing of beauty at all times, but it's a W. And your team goes into the Christmas break with a 10-2 record.
Yeah, we needed that one. I mean, we didn't play well for 25 minutes or so, but I thought our guys showed some character in coming up with a win there late. You know, I thought Sears played really hard in the second half. He got some deflections, got out, got himself going offensively. Thought Noah Gurley, you know, was really good for a stretch there for us in the second half. It was good to get Nick Pringle some minutes, and he played well. He actually won the blue collar today. I thought he gave us some really good minutes. So, you know, happy with overall effort. Got the turnovers cut down there in the second half. You know, that's been an issue with us, but got to give Jackson State a lot of credit. They're gonna be good once they get in the league. They haven't played a home game yet, so once they get in the league and they can actually play at home and have a regular schedule with it on the road all the time, that's gonna be a good team, I think.
Well, the next time you hit the floor, it will be in league play. You start SEC action at Mississippi State, and I know you'll be glad to let these guys have a couple of days for Christmas. You'll do the same, but it'll be time to get back to work because you got a tough slate to start off in the league.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, we're on the road at Mississippi State, and they're good. I think they finally took their first loss today earlier, but I mean, they're tough. They play hard, and we're going to have to clean up a lot of stuff. So happy to get our guys out of here on a win. Scheduling was a lot better this year than last year for that, but we'll take 4 days off. We'll come back, we'll practice 3 days, and then go into a first SEC game. So we you know, SEC play starts. It's we're trying to win a championship there, so we got to be ready to go on the 28th.
Coach, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thank you for the time.
Merry Christmas to you guys too. Roll Tide.
Appreciate it. Roll Tide. Nate Oates with us as Alabama is able to get the win. Crimson Tide claims an 84-64 victory over the Tigers of Jackson State. Our conversation with Coach is always brought to you by Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. That's the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Your Regions postgame show comes your way next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Finding that missing shin guard, remembering whether it's a home or away game,
getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things, like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, ref.
That's simple human sense.
Visit AutoOwners.com to find a local agent today.
Convenience is the name of the game at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University. Located on Veterans Memorial Parkway, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University offers just the right amenities for a relaxing getaway or a productive business trip. The University of Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium, Coleman Coliseum, and the Bryan Conference Center are within 2 miles, making any visit to the Capstone convenient. Whatever you're visiting Tuscaloosa for, the Holiday Inn Express and Suites Tuscaloosa University is the perfect hotel destination and a proud preferred hotel partner of the Crimson Tide.
Hi, I'm Andrew, an employee at BASF in Alabama. As a chemical operator, I enjoy working at BASF because I'm allowed to grow and show my potential. Everyone is like family. I actually like coming to work, and safety is the ultimate goal. At BASF, we create chemistry around the world through our people and our products. To join a winning team and a great place to work, visit basf.us/Alabama. That's basf.us/Alabama. BASF, we create chemistry.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
You mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tide fans, flu season is just around the corner, and the Alabama Department of Public Health wants to remind Tide fans that this year it's more important than ever to get your flu shot. Research shows that it's possible to have the flu and COVID-19 at the same time. This flu season, protect yourself and the people around you from flu and help reduce the strain on your local healthcare system, who is still responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/flu.
When you're planning your next visit to Tuscaloosa, explore the upscale options available at the new AC Hotel by Marriott, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Tuscaloosa. Surrounding yourself in luxury and comfort in a spacious room with complimentary Wi-Fi, a smart TV, premium toiletries, and a plush bed, while the rooftop bar and lounge provides the best place in town to wind down after cheering the Crimson Tide to victory. AC Hotel Tuscaloosa Downtown is proud to be a preferred hotel partner of the University of Alabama Athletics.
Welcome to the Regions Postgame Show on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Get your University of Alabama Regions Visa debit card. Visit regions.com/GoBama to order yours today.
Our Regions postgame show does indeed get underway after Alabama claims an 84-64 victory over the Tigers of Jackson State. Crimson Tide with some good numbers in this one. Bryan, Passink, not great on the offensive end, even though they scored 84, which is probably an indication of where we have seen the ceiling for this Bama team. Actually, I don't know that we've hit the ceiling with this squad yet and what they can be, but the Crimson Tide got it done, and excited to see where things are going to go for Alabama going forward.
Yeah, I thought the majority of the second half, Alabama came out focused, took care of the basketball, 13 turnovers in the first half, only 4 in the second, and shot 56% from the field. Mo Williams, Jackson State team came in and played at a much higher level than probably a lot of people expected, because you look at their 1-10 record, but they've competed with some of the top teams in the country. A brutal schedule. They haven't had a home game. They're going to have a chance to compete for the SWAC championship, but it was a team effort, especially in the second half. Great to see Mark Sears shoot the ball well. He didn't shoot it well against Gonzaga. I thought he played really well, especially in the first half, but shots just didn't fall for Sears. They did tonight. He goes for 15 points, 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from beyond the arc. But great to see Nick Pringle come in. Hasn't played as many minutes as he normally would like, but he has, because of the illness to Noah Clowney, stepped up in a big way. 14 points, 9 rebounds. Brandon Miller with 14 rebounds, had 10 points, and Charles Bediako almost had the double-double with 10 and 9. And Javon Quinterly, 5 assists, just 1 turnover. looked good in the second half, had some beautiful passes, and Alabama looked like a much more focused team in the second 20 minutes, and that's good news going into Christmas break because you don't want to end on a loss, and there are several SEC teams that did end on the loss. This is a tough game because you've got Christmas ahead of you. You got a chance to go home for the first time in months. These are games that are hard to focus on for players, and understandably so, but Alabama was able to get past a sluggish first half and take care of business in the second, and this is a nice win for Alabama, and to go 10-2 in the non-conference with one of the most difficult non-conference schedules in the country is a great place to be going into league play.
46-38, Bama winning the rebounding numbers and controlling the boards is presented by Cook's Pest Control in Centricon, the unbeatable combination for termite protection. Quickly, the numbers: 48% shooting to 35 for Jackson State. Beyond the arc, they were 6 of 19. Bama was 7 of 27. Free throws, 12 of 15 for 80% for the Tigers. Bama, though, 17 of 26 for 65%. They turned it over 18 times. Bama, after a tough first half, better in the second. 17 total turnovers for Alabama, just 5 after intermission. They scored 27 points. Bama scored 27 points off turnovers, 17 for the Tigers of Jackson State. And again, Alabama winning the rebounding numbers, 46-38. The final stats delivered by Assurance Financial. And in less time than halftime, you could apply for a mortgage at AssuranceMortgage.com. We're back with more in a moment here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
If you're looking for